I'm watching it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Oh shit, I don't have my lights turned on. I'm just like I'm so naturally lit right now. Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and welcome to session number. I'll edit it in post of the Isles of Iverion. It's great to have you here, but let's go ahead and roll the intro and get into today's session. All right, hello. We are
We all love our balls.
back.
Wow.
Okay, Gemma. Well, on that note, as is tradition here on Roll with Advantage, I do not do the summary. I have my players do the summary. This week on summary is
It's me, I'm pretty sure. I
River.
hope I've got that right. It is me, right?
I think
Sure,
so.
as if I didn't send you a reminder anyway.
Gemma!
Blob.
I believe in you.
You can be wrong, Gemma. It's possible. It is
No.
human to err.
No.
So unless you're an
No.
android, then
Unless you're an android.
are you an android, Gemma?
I cannot actually legally.
Oh
disclose
wow.
that.
Okay. All right. River, please summarize. I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Okay. So, last session, the party were traveling for about 2 weeks to get to Halfcrest, and they were traveling with their new dwarf friends, this big kind of convoy of dwarves who they actually bonded with and became friends with. In amongst that time, plenty of interpersonal stuff happened, as we had Nalfian getting sunglasses for Twig in an effort to help her with her Kingdoms and Castles game. Giving her that good old, like, masking your emotions and, like, looking all cool kind of thing. They also talked about Yorick, prompting Twig to go and actually vibe check Yorick, and in typical Twig fashion, ask quite a few probing questions about Yorick and how he feels about being a tiefling. In amongst that, as well, Eventahala, Yorick's devil, showed up to the party, kind of out of nowhere, and gave them some interesting and useful information about where Gelderven is being held and the password to get into this, like, kind of dodgy inn, as well as the fact that there is someone in Halfcrest, I really hope I'm saying it right, Helwyn Wiseflower? Yeah, Joel? Is that right?
At Helwyn? Yeah, you got it right. At
Oh,
Helwyn
yeah,
Rice
okay.
Wiseflower, yeah. You got it.
Cool. Basically a pirate who is the only recorded person to have survived a trip to the Cursed Isle that they will be able to get a hold of and maybe talk to. So that's some of the things we got to do in Halfcrest. But in that time, a lot of tension since Eventahala devils, so we're not quite so fond. But Lila used some interesting powers to certify that we think Eventahala might be trusted for now. Nalfian and Lila talk about how they should disclose this information, and later on, Yuri talks to Yorick about things to do with devils and the differences between Eventahala and Day. Also, Lila and Yuri talk about Eventahala and Yorick, and maybe how he could be tricked, like, a little bit, but we're not sure. The party, along the way to Halfcrest, also spot a man with wounds on his eyes, having been blinded in some kind of an attack, coming from the Jalak family. He tells the party about about how merchants and the merchant families in Halfcrest are used to switching power and having this kind of dynamic movement of power between those businesses and families, but that a new family has come in and kind of upset the balance and seems to be very, very ruthless. The Asnias? Is that how you say it? I can't pronounce things. Joe, help me.
Sananios.
Sananios.
Yeah.
I got that completely wrong.
Asnos.
Here we go.
The Asnos family.
Sananios. Headed by a scary woman. The party take this man, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna help you out. It's all cool. They go to Halfcrest. They manage to get through, and they part ways with their dwarf friends and head to Lila's home, this big fancy tower of the Tatianas, and meet her butler Alfred. It is Alfred, I'm pretty sure.
It is, yeah.
Here we are.
You got that one right, yeah.
Whilst we're there, we chat, we introduce ourselves, we find out there's a very, very, like a fancy kind of ball tonight, and the party will probably go to it, because why the fuck wouldn't we want to go and get dressed up? And also we need to go save Geldervin at some point, so that's where the party is at now. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful summary. So let's go ahead and dive in. So let me move us here.
I even breathed.
And
Is the ball tonight or is it in 2 days?
no, the ball is tonight. It is
okay.
yeah, it is Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. It
Starting
is
off the weekend strong.
Friday. Yeah, and then in 2 days is the Kingdoms and Castles tourney on Monday.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you were almost right.
And
Okay.
it's like 8 a.m. right now, so we have like all day.
Correct.
We got
Yeah.
shit to get done today.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and back this up. So yeah.
We should get yelled at him first, though.
Yeah, we
Shopping.
off.
Shopping. Okay. So let me go ahead and move all of you
She
to
can
the.
suffer. We gotta get dresses.
So
It was like, we gotta get
She'll
Geldervan
understand.
sometime. I was like, what do you mean sometime?
She'll understand. She's
All
cool like
players.
that.
There you go. Okay. All right.
We
So
already saved her life once.
Yeah.
We
She
live
can't
on
ask
the
too
best
much.
of terms, yeah.
alrighty. So with that, as all of you then where we had just ended the session, as all of you were stepping out of Lila's tower, or at least the Tatiana tower, ready to make the next step on your mission. Now, the thing is about today is the city of Iverion, or the city of Hearthcrest, the capital city of the Riverlands, is a very, very, very busy city. There is, even though it is raining right now, there is just a plethora of noises as you exit. On top of the busy city streets, merchant vendors around every corner, it is also raining pretty hard right now as well. But you can see that is not stopping the drive of commerce at all. People are indomitable when it comes to making sure their goods are bought and sold in the city of Hearthcrest. So as all of you make your way outside into the rainy weather, stepping out onto Hornwood Boulevard, my question to you is, where are you headed next?
Well, we said, I think that we said, like, let's go get Galdavan now, right?
Yeah.
Like when we left off.
Yeah.
Well, with the instructions, I assume Lila would have no problem knowing where the location of Galdavan is, like, right?
Yeah, it's a corner of 14th Street and Riverbend.
Okay, cool. So she'll just turn to everyone and say, okay, I can take us there right now, or do we need to get anything before we go, or do we feel confident going in?
I mean, what's up? Do we have a plan exactly for how we're gonna do this? Because, I mean, House Markle knows you lot, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you walking in could tip them off, right? So, do you want me to go first and try to, like, scout out a bit before we, like, make our move, or do we just want to, like, charge in, or, like, what are we thinking?
Well, I guess we don't really know what we're expecting. An underground fortress of some sort? Maybe it's just a couple of people with knives in their hands. Might be best, York, you go in, scout things out, get a feel for the place, and we follow after.
Okay. How do you want me to, like, communicate anything? Like, do you want me to come back out and then we go back in, or, like, you just come in when you hear, like, people screaming, or, like, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I could send my little squirrel in with you. That way, at least we'd be able to know what's happening in there.
Alright, I mean,
Good idea?
yeah, that works.
Alright, I think we have a plan.
All right. Well, it's literally the other side of the city, so everyone, walking shoes, let's go.
Walking shoes.
Yeah.
Good shoes just
I was
for
What
you.
would
No
fruit that
heels.
we're normally wearing? Shoes, given what we
Now
do,
looks at
but
his
you know.
boots.
Everyone's like, we all wear walking shoes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Now
changed her
boots
shoes.
totally have a heel to them, like you cannot
Oh.
tell me otherwise.
They absolutely do.
They're
You can
made
hear the
for
little
walking.
click clock. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, man.
Yuri looks down at the fact that she's not wearing shoes.
Walking feet.
Hey, get your walking shoes. You heard her.
Okay.
Ooh, I like
Wear
being a
shoes.
snake all the way there. That was fun.
Yeah. So with that, well, here, let me back you up a little bit. So it takes about 3 hours to walk from the tower all the way across the bridges and then eventually to the other side of the city. This city is large. It is very, very, very big. And on top of that, there's traffic. Anytime that you are going off of any one of the main boulevards out of the gates, you can see that there are very clear defined roads or ways that traffic goes. So there is incoming traffic on the left and then outgoing traffic on the right. And then on top of that, you can see that there are these magical pillars that are sort of floating elevated at intersections that illuminate different colors when traffic can come and go in order to make sure that traffic stays organized and there aren't just like cart accidents that happen all the time. This city runs on a schedule, and for better or for worse, it takes quite a bit of time to get from one side of the city to the other. So yes, I did just describe fantasy traffic lights. Congratulations, you're welcome.
As we're
Yeah.
walking, can now just being proactive, keeping an eye out, see if we as a group. That's kind of a dumb thing because it's Lila. I mean, anybody who's giving us like suspicious looks. Obviously, people know Lila, so they probably are gonna be like, "Oh my god, hey girl," but like in a non-friendly way. He's just being cautious and just scanning the crowds as we make our way to the city.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Hey boys, hold on. 21.
21. So with the 21, as you are looking around, there are a couple of things that do catch your eye. So for one, you can see that there are just left click and drag on the screen, not near the token, and that'll unselect the token. Okay. So as you're moving from city or street to street to street, just trying to find your way, following Lila's guide, like I said, there are a few things that catch your eye. For one, you can see that the city is incredibly busy and incredibly dense. So even to the sides of the street where there are these clear walkways for people that are not on horse and cart, where all of you are at, it is dense, incredibly dense, even more dense than Raven Rock. What made Raven Rock such a big city is that it was spread out, where it was like a 4-mile long city or 5 or 9-mile long city, all along the coast. This is all densely packed in this one huge cross section of the river. So because of that, it doesn't seem from a 21 that anybody is giving you any extra attention, even as strange as of a group that you are, considering your color palette, considering the nobility that lives here and the wealthy merchant families. You don't draw any more attention than any of them. The last thing I'll say with the 21 is you would see a group of 3 younger individuals. 2 of the 2 are half-elven men. One is a human woman. They're all a little bit more scruffy, a little bit unkempt, but you can see they're wearing very fine clothing. And they have a patch on their chest that is heraldry that is black and gray with a mountain on there. Like I said, a little unkempt. They're a little boisterous. They're not being rude to anybody, but they're kind of being rude to everybody. Like nobody in particular, but the way that they're treating the space around them is just a little.
And what did you say? A race? What they were? Sorry.
Yeah, 2 half-elves and a human woman.
Half-elves.
Yeah. So 2 half-elf men and 1 human woman.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Red and gray.
Is she
Black
really
and gray.
short?
Thank you. Sorry, River, what'd you say?
I was just asking if she's short or not.
The human woman?
Yeah.
No, I would say she's actually she's cut quite wide and quite tall. She's like maybe 6'1". She's taller than the two half-elves, and
Okay.
she's fairly broad.
Okay. This puts me at ease.
Yeah, Nelf's not gonna well, yeah, actually he would. He would kind of like, as we're walking by them, look to Lila and just kind of gesture with his head. You recognize those people?
Felicity, you might
You
be
asked
muted.
Lila
Okay,
that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. I was getting up to grab a sweater, so. Yeah, she doesn't, right, Joe?
I know you would. So this is one of the. So there are 8 merchant families that sort of are the most powerful, most influential. Some of them change, some of them are more consistent. This one you would recognize. It was a smaller merchant family when you left, and apparently they must have grown to be something bigger, considering the way that they're dressed. But this is the Carlson merchant family. The head of that household is Victor Carlson, and I'll paste that name in there. Their wealth comes from mining operations from the northern. Of course, it's gonna do that. I hate that it. That's so stupid. There we go. Victor Carlson. The Carlson merchant family makes most of their money from mining operations to the north and south mountainous regions of the Riverlands.
Okay, she would relay that to
Okay.
everyone then, since Nalfian asked.
Yeah, Nelf will just nod, just noting that they don't seem like the kindest of individuals, but now we at least can put a name to a face.
Yeah.
Keep walking.
Everyone here is pretty selfish in some way, whether it's being ruthless or just looking out for yourself. So,
A little too much like home.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. So, with that, as all of you are beginning to continuing to make your way towards 14th Street and Riverbend, as you're making your way, you can see there are all of these merchant stalls and vendors that are sitting along the edges of the street trying to get you to buy things as you pass by. Most of these are rather generic to fruits and vegetables, maybe some small trinkets, things that you've seen before. One of the things that does catch your eye is there seems to be a small woman that I'd say is right on the corner of 12th Street. So I'll back you up just a hair. Right on the corner of 12th Street, just as you're beginning to pass, getting very close to your location. You can see her just sort of hunched under a little canopy with a small table in front of her. And you can see that sitting on the table and the small shelves behind her are these dolls that vary from stuffed or crocheted to wooden dolls. Different colors and shapes and sizes, some of them elves, dwarves, some of them gnomes, humans, tieflings even, seeming covering the whole spectrum of the races of Illica, just sort of sitting there. A human woman as far as you can tell, but very, very, very small. Big, big, big hair. She just sort of sits there at her little store. And people sort of come up, and they're typically little boys and girls that come up and they purchase their dolls, very excited, very happy, and they head off.
Wow.
Cute, cute.
Well, I'm obligated to buy one.
Okay. Do you just because it's on the same side of the street that you're on?
Yeah, man, fuck it.
Okay. So as you approach, you can see the older woman. She kind of looks up at you, and her hair is like I said, completely stark white, huge down to the small of her back, these big curls. And she looks up at you and says, "Oh, I've been waiting for you. I didn't know if you were going to come by. And you can see her.
Ralph looks around and kind of like points at himself.
You see her reach underneath the table and pull out a very, very nice wooden doll that seems to be that of Queen Omen. You can see that it's wearing like plate armor. It has this very, very fine sewn red cape, the short cropped blonde hair of Queen Omen, and a scar right across the cheekbone. And she sets it on the table for you and says, special instructions will follow, filled to the brim with just what you were looking for.
Okay, well now
It's already been paid for, too, so there you go.
I'm sorry. We're paid from someone to give this to us.
Well, you paid me for it
When did I do that?
a couple weeks ago.
I'm sorry, man, but I think you are mistaking me. He says that and realizes it's very hard to mistake Nalfian for someone else, but he says that anyway. This is my first time ever being here.
You can see her sort of squint her eyes at you, reach into a small chest and put on a pair of glasses. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. And she puts the doll of Queen Omen back underneath the table and covers it up in a blanket. Is there anything I can help you with?
Elf is malfunctioning right now. Okay, right. Nalfian looks to Twig.
I'm
Anything
just trying to figure out what is happening right now.
catch your eye that you would want from here?
Oh, I just sell dolls, that's all. Nothing else.
Okay, can I roll an insight check?
Yeah, make
What
an
the fuck
insight
is
check.
happening right now? I am so confused.
I also get an insight off.
Sure.
We're
Like,
trying
it's
to
pretty
figure out
obvious
what
what's
the fuck
happening
this is.
here.
Am I
Yeah?
dumb?
I don't know if it's just
To me
dolls
it
or if
is.
it's like something else there is. It's something else
18.
now.
18?
There are drugs in these dolls for sure.
Oh my god.
100%.
7. But I'm just like,
don't
is
think
she
this
the
is
one that's
Kayla
making
in
it
fantasy
sus, or is it something about Bainir shit that's doing something to it?
Twig, she seems like she's just, I don't know, nervous now. She made a mistake about an
maybe.
order. Yeah, oh well. Nalfian, there's definitely no ill intent towards you or the party. You're fairly confident that it has nothing to do with the Dark One, or Bainir, or anything like that.
It's just some lady who
It
lost her
seems
marbles.
like she mistook you for another Dark Elf individual who was purchasing something else
Doesn't
from
make me
her.
feel better.
Seems very hard of sight. Yeah, she realizes now that she made a mistake with something that was not ordered by you, and she feels very bad about it.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Alright. So it's the same everywhere we go.
What did the doll look like that she presented?
It was
Queen
Queen
Omen.
Omen.
Oh yeah. I'm just stupid. Ignore me. It's Roman. God. With a scar on
yeah.
her face and everything.
Nalfian will just say, no problem. Twig, did you want anything from here?
Oh, yes. Of course. Dolls.
Everyone's acting weird, so. She's just gonna shake her head.
Yeah, I didn't think of it. Nalfian just like bumbling himself. I didn't really want to buy anything.
Thank you so much for your time, but we're really in a rush. Let's go. Come on.
Okay. All right. And you can see as you leave that she is like slowly starts packing things up to leave her little shop after that. Okay. Alrighty. An event of the city has passed, and with that, you're able to make your way back to continuing on to Riverbend and 14th Street. So you're at the corner of Riverbend and 14th Street. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
if Yorick's going in, Twig will just sum up a little squirrel familiar and just have it run up onto Yorick's shoulder and kind of like I guess, somewhat hide itself in his like little scarf thing he's got going on there. But yeah.
What is at this corner? Is it just like an alleyway? Are there buildings? Like what's...
Like the area that you're in, or
Yeah, like as we approach this like exact like the corner of like what's
yeah.
going on.
So the corner of there are like large clumps of trees that are near some of the street signs, or not street signs, some of the roads. But like I said, every building here, obviously Incarnate doesn't do a good enough job because it's not something that's a staple in medieval fantasy settings. But all of these buildings that are near you are 3 or 4 stories high.
Okay.
So there are very narrow alleyways, but as you arrive, you can see this very large, like I said, 4-story inn right here, number 9, which you do know that's where the dwarves that you were talking to were going, the Crown and Jaguar Inn. But then on top of that, you can see at the right here at the corner of 14th and Riverbend, you can see this smaller 1-story building that seems to be a little dilapidated, a little run down. And you can see that there are people standing on the rooftops just sort of looking down at the streets and then going back inside for a little bit of cover. So those are kind of the 2 things that catch your eye as you approach the corner of 14th and Riverbend.
York reaches up and gives the squirrel like a little like pat, like slight rub. What's her name?
I mean, I never really gave them one.
You gotta give him a name. What am I supposed to call him?
I feel like it's better not to.
Alright, Carl, you and me got this, okay? Alright, so I'm gonna head in. Obviously, cultists and shit in there. Do you want me warning the dwarves before I like go into like the seedier part, or should they just be on their own?
Just to clarify, Ryan, which building are you going into? The weird seedy place or like the inn itself?
Isn't the inn where you say like a passcode and you get into the seedy place, or am I mistaken?
I don't know. They just said the corner of Riverbend and 14th. I don't think they gave us an exact. So I guess try both.
I could have sworn that we knew we needed to go to the Crown and Jaguar Inn. Joe, can you correct us on this?
The only direction you were given was the corner of 14th and Riverbend.
Oh, bitch.
Have we just
It's
been
not-
assuming this whole time? Oh. I thought we were told something about it, like,
Well,
because that's why you need a password.
I thought
'cause
it meant the
gets you
hall
into the seedy
instead.
place.
Nah. She didn't say which building it was. What a bitch.
Nelfin would just say, "All right, let's try the inn first, and we'll go in with you. No problem there. And then you approach whoever and give this password and see where it leads. That way, we're at least in the same building.
All
Can't
right.
see dark friends just hanging out in the middle of the tavern, but who knows?"
York just shrugs. All right.
Okay. All right, so you head around the corner and into the Crown and Jaguar Inn. As you do enter, the rain does begin to fade, and so do the sounds of the city. And immediately upon you entering, you are just surrounded by a cacophony of noises and music. It seems as though to escape the horrible weather outside, this place is no stranger to good times and fun. A massive building where you can see there are 7 or 8 hearths that are burning all along this massive common room, where there's easily 200-300 people in here drinking and having a good time. So as you enter, ready to investigate, you can see there are 4 or 5 like bar tops, all serving different patrons, but the largest one is in the dead center, very back of the building, where you can see these very broad and tall dwarvish man who is currently serving most of the patrons and seems to be the person who's the innkeep here. So with that, what do you want to do?
Now, if we would let Yorick enter first, so it doesn't look like we've arrived together, wait a couple minutes, and then lead everybody else inside and try their best to find a table that's out of the way, just so we can keep an eye on Yorick.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Alrighty, cool. So, Yorick, as you are heading up to the bar top, you can see that there is a collection of dwarves that is hanging off in a back corner, making their own ruckus. And you recognize these dwarves to be the miners that you had been, or not miners, the lumberjacks that you had originally encountered back in the forest. But with that, you're able to make your way up to the top of the tavern, all the way to the back, to the innkeeper. And so as you approach, he's definitely pretty busy right now. But eventually, as you approach, it gets to be your turn. He says, well, it's great to have you here, Mr. Well, I'd be happy to help you in any way that you need. Is there something I can get you to drink, or are you looking to get some rooms for the night? I think we still have a couple left over.
I'll take a room, knowing full well he's not going to use it, but he's trying to make conversation so that he can talk to this guy.
Yeah, sure, of course.
How much for a night?
For just one night, you're looking at about 2 gold pieces.
Ooh, nice place, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
York will put down... No, that was Ryan talking to York, sorry. But yeah, he'll put down 2 gold.
Alrighty, very much. Thank you. Much appreciated. So, can I get you a drink or anything while I go get your key?
Sorry, since York had been here for kind of like a minute looking around, does it look like there's any place that's sort of like off limits, or that like someone's kind of like holding up or guarding or anything, since we're not sure if this is even the place or not?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Alright, that's a 36, because that's a nat 20.
Woo!
Oh,
Yeah, so, I mean, as is the nature of any... as is the nature of any high population density in a very large city, yeah, of course, there are people all over this place that seem to be more shady or more low-key or trying to not be seen as much. In terms of back rooms, yeah, there's also a couple of those that seem to be there, whether they be bouncers in different areas preventing people from going into private rooms. So, yeah, you definitely notice a few places that seem to be more private.
But nothing that kind of matches the description of what we were looking for, because we were like, they said it was like a dive bar kind of place, so like I'm not seeing some area where like people are like going in after like talking and giving some sort of like code phrase or anything.
I mean, even with a 36, yeah, you wouldn't be able to hear it, and since Yorick can't even, he doesn't have the observant feat, right?
He does not.
Okay,
I
so
thought about it, but no.
So without the ability to read lips, there are places where people are walking up to one of the bouncers, they're saying something, and then they're heading in. A dive bar, though, not really.
Yeah. Okay. And talking to this guy, what does York feel is kind of like the general vibe? Like, he seems just like kind of like a pleasant guy, but actually, you know what? Never mind on that one.
Okay, yeah.
York's just gonna be like, this is my first time in Hearthcrest. I mean, anything about kind of the nearby area I should know about, places to go, places to avoid, that kind of thing.
Oh, of course. So, places to go. I thoroughly recommend the Crown and Jaguar Inn. I hear that it's rather festive this time of this time of day. But aside from there, it just kind of depends what you're looking for. If you feel a little rusty in your skills regarding ranged weapons, I'd recommend going to the range. They have plenty of places there to practice, whether it be throwing daggers, axes, bow and arrow. They even have some firearms that you can get your hands on as well. If you're more of a, person who enjoys being out in nature and the big cities kind of taking taking a drain from you. The conservatory's nice also. If you're wanting somewhere that's a little bit more low-key to eat and drink, I'd recommend the Jasmine Bakery off to the, let's see, what would that be, the southwest corner of the city. It's a larger place, a lot more low-key than here. I will say, though, obviously you look like you can protect yourself rather well with that big old weapon you got there at your side. But if you don't need to, there's a place across the street that, listen, I'm very used to unsavory types being in my inn. Don't get me wrong. All right, I'm used to throwing people out. I'm used to people making deals in my tavern that I would not condone under a normal circumstance. But, I don't know, different type of bad folk going into that place across the street. So, if you're hoping to stay out of trouble while you're here, I wouldn't recommend going there.
No, definitely want to avoid trouble. That conservatory you mentioned sounded lovely though, so.
Oh, it
I might
is.
head there before it gets too dark.
You should. Actually, they have a nighttime exhibit there that is quite beautiful. They have plants from all over the world that the mages from the college have collected. And some of these plants from Thoral and Odero, they do some weird stuff at night that, it's pretty impressive, if I'm being honest. I'm not even a plant guy.
Well, right on.
And not that there's anything wrong with that if you are, I might add.
No, I get you, different strokes for different folks. No worries. All right, well, I think I'm going to head out, explore a little bit more of the city, so...
Of course.
I'll come back and get that key later, though, so,
all right. Well, just to let you know, if you're not back by the dinner rush, sadly, I'm going to have to give your room to somebody else if we're sitting on a wait list.
No, I get it. That's, that's how it works, so
All right.
Totally understand. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Oh, and your name, sir?
Oh, I'm Yorick.
Yorick. You got it. Steel trap this brain. Yorick, I'll see you later.
See you later. And Yorick will turn and start
Okay.
leaving the place, since it sounds like he knows where he needs to go now.
Yeah. And the dwarf, immediately after you leave, he's talking with the same cadence, same volume, same everything to the next person in line. This man is a machine when it comes to talking to people. He's just pouring drinks,
okay.
getting room keys, just working.
Aw.
Okay.
Good for him. Employee of the month.
Oh, man. Alrighty, cool.
I
So,
don't know if the party's come in yet, but whether they are or not, York's just leaving. Since Carl's with him, they'll know that he's leaving, and
Yeah.
he knows where he needs to go. So
I would say right as
kinda going for it.
right as the party is entering through the doors, seeing everything, that is when you see Yorick leaving, coming back towards the door.
Pardon me, excuse me, just slip past.
Hey,
me.
oi, watch it, you big oaf! Ah, you fucking my shoulder! Ah. Oh, I've spilled my drink! Ah. Oh, and somebody, you like bump into somebody, spilled a drink, and they look up at you and be like, never mind, you're fine. And they go up to the inn to, go up to the bar to get a new drink.
Well, I guess
Alright.
we're on our way out.
Yeah. Now we'll just be like, all right, and turn around. Looking to Yorick. I take it this wasn't the place.
Nope. But
Alright.
we do know where it is now, or at least strongly suspect.
All right.
And he'll make his way over to the shady area.
Yep. Alrighty. Sounds good. Easy enough. So you head towards the more shady area, exiting the tavern, leaving that warmth and crowded area behind, returning back out into the rain and sounds of the city. So, as you head out in that general direction, you can see exactly what he was talking about. This is a much shadier area, and in fact, there seems to even be a higher degree of security here. Just getting ready to cross the street whenever the intersection allows it. In that one-story building, you can see there are people like patrolling the rooftops, just keeping an eye out on the city streets, making sure whether it be the wrong or the right kind of people approach. and you can see there is a couple of entrances, but each entrance has somebody standing by the door.
Okay, seeing that, Nalf's gonna like not make it apparent that we're walking towards the building, and we're just gonna kind of dodge off over here. And he's gonna look at Yorick, because like now that he sees this, he's a little worried about sending someone in by themselves. Alright, we don't have to change our plan entirely if we don't feel like it's necessary, but not that you can't handle yourself in there. There's just a lot. And a lot of these exits seem about the same guarded. I don't know. Do we still want to move forward this way, or do you want to reconfigure?
I mean, if y'all have a way of disguising yourself, great. She's not going to be able to get into that raising questions, pointing to Twig. Neither is she, because you're very well known around here, pointing to Lila. So, I think we just keep going with the plan. If we just risk alerting them that you guys are here, it just raises problems. I know the risk, I'm good.
Well, what if Nalfian at least went in with you?
Nalfin will like pull up the hood of his cloak, which I assume there's a hood.
Oh,
now.
most of you would probably have hoods on your cloaks anyway, just because of how often it
For the
rains in the
rain.
Riverlands. Yeah.
Alright.
Lila has an umbrella.
She grabbed a
Oh, she's
parasol
so cute.
from
Yep.
from home.
Yep.
I mean, Nalfian, you know, unfortunately,
God.
it would probably look like he would fit. So, he pulls up
Yuri
his hood.
would suggest, as he's doing that, I mean, I could also go. It's just if we get in a bad situation, I can just get us out immediately.
That's a very good point.
I mean, I would be able to go in disguised and also get at least someone else out if need be. AKA, Twig does have disguised self, and she also super has that use of Dimension Door.
Oh.
Lila puts down her
Lila-
parasol. I guess I could try.
Do you have something to make yourself look different?
I can change my color.
Oh,
We buy a disguise kit.
I'm not sure that's going to be enough to quite make you unrecognizable.
Well, I could just stay out here too, and you guys can just let me know if you need me. I can get in, I think, because I have a use of. Oh, a teleportation circle. That's a little much, though. And a use of
Wait, give me 10
dimension
minutes.
door.
Okay, excuse me. Oh, just one
Don't you
second.
have to know where you're? Don't you have to know where you're?
Okay, so I do have a use of
Yeah.
dimension door. If you guys need me, and then I could get in that way.
Yeah. Okay, we can try and keep in contact with you. We'll just keep messaging and let you know.
I just
Are
don't
you
want to
gonna-
raise too much suspicion a big group like us walking in. We're not
Yeah.
from here, we're walking straight into a very questionable establishment. Sorry, I wasn't trying to make this complicated, I just worry
No,
about
I
safety
mean-
and numbers here.
What do you suggest? Like, what do you think would be the most ideal approach then?
Nalfin's not thinking this long because he's smarter than me, but Kayla's thinking.
I feel.
It's like, pause. Kayla doesn't want to leave Lila just outside by herself.
No, I don't
because
want
that
to leave
sounds
Lila on her
Hey,
fucking
dangerous
own
as fuck.
outside.
Wait, alternative thought. Because like Lila, you also saying that you have Dimension Door. Twig and Lila can stay outside. Twig can have the familiar with you guys,
Yeah.
and so then if shit goes a bit sidewards, they can then just Dimension Door in, right? And we just fucking smack the place down.
Yep.
Alright. So, Yorick, Nalfian, and Eurydice are gonna go inside.
Okay.
And Twig and
again,
Lila are gonna play Kingdoms and Castles
Yeah.
in the rain.
Nalfian's gonna give Yuri to see like his old cloak, just to make her look a little bit more rugged. Cause I mean,
He looks like the fucking Dawnbreaker. Yeah, it's not.
yeah, nah.
All
It's
right,
like,
so
go ahead. Sorry.
all right, again, I'm not going to argue with you guys here because this is your friend. But if House Markle's in there and they recognize you, it puts her in danger. That's the only reason I'm hesitant about you guys coming. But she's your friend, so if you're okay with that, that's fine. That's just the danger.
I guess this is Kayla here. I mean, do they know? I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
Lila will
I-
just say she's already in danger. I don't know. I mean, maybe there would be some other threat, but she's kind of already there.
All right, or we could just go back to the original plan. York, go in. If things get a little uncomfortable, alert Carl, and we can come in.
Again, I'm fine either way. Just you got to make a decision.
I think more than just Yorick should go in. Personally.
So do I. I don't think we should send just Yorick in on his own.
All right.
Not that I don't think he could handle it, but we don't know what's in there.
All right.
This would be
Then
so much easier with my old warlock powers.
Yeah, why
I-
does it get good?
I-
maybe you should just stay outside then.
I will say, just as an assist here, because it hasn't been brought up yet, the cloak of the mountebank is not an attunement item, so Twig could just give that to Yorick to use the once, because it's one use of Dimension Door, so that means Yorick could use it to go inside, get Galdivan, and then Dimension Door out.
Oh.
And you don't have to
Well,
take
legit,
the hour to attune to it. Or 10 minutes, or whatever it is.
I completely wasn't thinking that it was an achievement, so yeah, we could do that.
All right.
Wah.
Well, that's not bad.
Well,
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Because then,
Go in,
especially
grab
if
her,
Yorick's
get
in
out.
trouble,
There,
he
there's
can get out still.
there still are downsides to having him go in by himself. But
no downsides,
that's-
only upsides. Let's go.
Okay. Sorry. I'm confusing myself here. So, Yorick, Nalfian, and Eurydice are going inside, correct?
Not anymore, right?
I thought
'Cause
the
if
new plan
Yorick's-
with Yorick with the cape was going in.
Yeah, he goes in alone.
All right.
Because then it's like, that's totally not a threat. It's one guy, right? What is he going to do?
Alright.
Like, he just needs to get to Geldervan. Like, all he needs to do is be able to, like, touch her.
Okay.
And then,
Sounds good.
And then we can run!
yeah.
Yorick definitely knows what Geldman looks like, right? Like we've given a
Oh.
very
Yes.
good description.
In the point.
I mean, she's a
5,
hobgoblin.
I think it was in the point 5. I think it was described or he was shown what Gelfman looks like. Because
Yeah.
that was,
Okay.
Part of the whole thing was to go help do that. If not, he's been shown. So yes, he knows what Gelfman looks like.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail the entire plan there.
No, it's all good.
All right. Be safe. Let us know.
We'll do. All right, Carl. Let's do this. And Yorick will then move around the corner or whatever to separate himself away from the group and start making his way over there.
Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and do this real quick.
What is it with you and C names? First it was Craig, now it's Carl.
The names are cool.
Okay.
Could have named him Chester. I decided Carl was better.
Okay.
And Theo will be next.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to
Sandra.
pause the game, and I'm gonna have the rest of the tokens on the map just so you all can see, kind of. Actually, you know what? Here's the better idea. I will give everybody permission to. I'll make everybody an owner of Yorick, so that way everybody can see through Yorick's eyes as you're going through here.
It's odd.
Yo, Rick.
Yo, Rick. Configure permissions. All players. His name's not Carl. Oh, buddy. Okay. All right. So with that, let me go ahead and preload this real quick. So, Yorick, as you begin your approach, you can see that there are several entrances. But it seems as though every once in a while, just in the time that you've been taking to discuss this, there's one that most people end up going to, what seems to be the public entrance, as opposed to maybe something more private. So it looks like if you're wanting to go in, that's probably the way that you should go in.
Yeah, Yorick would definitely head that way.
Okay.
And watching, does it seem like they pat down the people, or is it more like a check, or like they're just kind of watching them as they come in, or like what does the checkpoint system seem like? How thorough is the security?
It's strange. It varies from person to person. Some people, they take their weapons. Some people, they have them remove their armor. Some people, they have them remove most of their possessions. Some people, they just let walk in.
I see. Okay, well, going in blind. All right, he'll just walk up with confidence.
Okay. Go ahead.
A little bit more of like a darker scowl on his face. Look like he blends in.
Yeah, let me see here. Let me see here. This is strange, but I would like you to make an intimidation check.
All right. All right, that's decent. Intimidation. Yeah, that's a 21.
21. Okay, sounds good. I will keep that in mind. So as you approach, you can see an individual who is, excuse me, who is wearing mostly sort of dark gray and black wools and cloaks that have these like streaks of gray on them, or streaks of white on them. You can see as they stand there watching the door, there are a couple of watchers on the first story that look over as you approach. And as you approach, the man guarding the door says, "Is there something I can help you with?"
Hard to say. After all, eventually it will all come to pass.
You see him kind of look you over and look you up and down. "Welcome in, brother." And you can see he opens the door and doesn't take anything from you and allows you to enter.
Yorick will just do the little like half nod, but keep walking.
Okay, so let me pull you all to the scene now. Okay.
Ooh. What is that in front of me?
A lot of doors. So with that, he shuts the door. And you are in here. Seems like for the most part, the way that you're going to go in is through this door down here. The rest of these seem like more private rooms.
I can't move.
No, you're good.
Oh, the game's paused.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
that
moving
was
you
weird.
in this scenario here.
Okay.
Where is your map?
What?
I said, where is York even on the map right now? I can only see us four.
The top. Oh, I thought that I.
Yeah,
No,
no, you
I-
need to select him first, though, is the thing. Because we do have, like, we're able to have ownership. Like, I'm able to see what Yorick's seeing right now. But you need to have him selected.
Okay,
Okay,
got it.
Okay, did that work now?
Yes.
Oh, yay!
Okay.
First read it.
Okay. Alrighty. So with that, Yorick, you continue to make your way through. And as you get inside, before you can turn the corner, there is an individual that is standing there. And sort of, this person also looks you up and down and says, "What's your business here, brother?"
Looking to find a way to assist. I was told this might be the place to come.
You're just in luck. A representative showed up recently, hour ago or so. You might be just what they need.
I consider myself a capable individual. I'm sure I'll be able to help them with whatever they need.
He nods and moves over to the side and allows you to pass. Go. Alrighty. So then you get over here. You can see the area opens up a little bit more. But for the most part, the area is pretty empty. There are some barrels, some containers, some supplies. But you're surrounded on all sides by enemies right now as you move up to the next door right here. You can see this individual in front of you, a woman wearing a half cowl. Maybe elven of some kind. It's a little hard to get a read on what subspecies of elf she may be, but an elf nonetheless. And she says, "Are you here to speak with the representative?"
I'm here to see if they want to talk to me. My services are available. By the way, real quick timeout. I love this art for the cultists. They're so fucking cool. Sorry, I just had to say that. I zoomed in and I was like, oh, damn.
Hell yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. Why did that? That was weird. Okay. Alrighty. And you can see they kind of nod and smile a little bit. Say, "Let me just ask, what services do you plan on offering?"
I'm powerful and I can be... And he just kind of like... Not to like pull it out, but he just kind of like tightens his grip on like his weapon just to like kind of hear it, but he'll let go. I can be very persuasive when I get my hands on the right people. And again, he didn't squeeze it as like he's about to pull it out and use it, but it was just kind of like to make a point.
Very good. If you don't mind me asking, where did you train? If you are all right with sharing.
How did I get strong? I faced hordes in the demon wastes. I harnessed my power there.
Very interesting. That you can see that she nods.
Can't hear you, Joe.
Oh shit, really? No.
He said anything. He just said very interesting.
No, he did.
Oh, my bad.
Oh no,
That's
you're
okay.
good.
I just assumed
No,
because we're in the same room.
no, you're.
Fair enough.
It's weird because the stream is still
No,
picking me up.
Your mic isn't
I know.
working.
The stream's still
No.
picking me up though. I don't know what's happening. Oh.
There you are.
Okay, all right, cool.
Hey.
Woo! All right, I was starting to get nervous. I'll explain later, but I started to panic a little bit. Okay, I'm glad that worked.
Almost lost my cool.
Woo! Alrighty. So with that, Yorick, she smiles and nods, thoroughly entertained by your answer, and will decide to step away and open the door. And just as you get closer to the door, getting ready to open it yourself, you can feel this energy coming from behind the door. Your own essence of life being pulled in. Very strange. Very strange. Very heavy. Yorick would be able to recognize necromantic magic coming from in here. You open the door. You see a large number of cultists and a type of creature Yorick has never encountered before as you step into the room. A creature wearing deep, deep, deep ebony armor that almost seems to have shadow leaking from it. You can see this pale and green, maggoty-colored skin, an eyeless visage, and a mouth that goes from ear to ear with these sharp razor blades of teeth. Not that Yorick would know, but the rest of the party would be able to recognize through Twig's companion, a Bansheen. The thing is, this Bansheen isn't wielding the typical longsword. You can see slung across their back what looks to be this massive hammer. A maul of some sort, spiked on both ends, inscribed with dwarvish runes, thrumming with this deep purple energy. The rest of the party would be able to recognize this, at least initially, especially Twig with your knowledge. It's a little hard to read any of the runes because of the distance. But this is most likely a Dowie artifact of some kind. So with that...
I'm sorry, I just love the imagery that since Twig's like relaying all this information, the party's like panicking, and York's just like, gross, what is this guy? He has no idea what he just fucking walked in on.
No, he does not. And with that, Yorick, you enter, and this creature looks to you and smiles. And when it smiles, like I said, ear to ear, with those sharp, serrated teeth, it speaks.
So, a new servant of the Dark Lore, is it?
Correct.
Very good. Approach.
York will do so.
Okay, how close do you get?
He'll just keep walking up to it until it tells York, like, close enough, or, you know, within 1 square, like the 5 feet.
Yep, okay. That's when it tells you to stop.
Yep.
As you get there, it looks at you and smiles again.
Take off the mask, boy. Let me look upon your face.
And York will, again, wave his hand, and the helmet will kind of burn away to reveal his face.
Magic. Good. Already a cut above the rest of these dogs. In what way do you wish to serve the great Lord of the Dark?
There's nothing I'm not willing to do. So long as I get a little something in return. I like power. It feels good.
Already demanding things. You're either ambitious or stupid. What do you want? And what are you willing to do to get it? Anything is not good enough.
I can kill. I can maim. I can tear apart anyone you point me at. I can lie to them with a smile. And I can bring their world down in seconds. You might not like the answer of anything, but I'm very capable.
Good. That is what I like to hear. Tell me what you wish. And I will give it to you if you accomplish what I want you to.
Like I said, I just want more power. I want to be stronger. Whether it's physically, magically. I just want more.
Very well. You will get more power. And that I will gladly give to you. But there is one thing you must do.
Name it.
Swear an oath to him.
Go on.
Pledge yourself to the great Lord of the Dark. Speak his name. Prove you are strong enough to withstand it. Swear your life and soul to his will. And I will give you the power you seek.
So, I mean, Yorick is smarter than he acts. I mean, he knows that he cannot do this, right? Without there being some serious mega consequences for himself.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It would. Doing this would not end well.
Yeah. So. Okay. Well. Bummer. Sorry, guys. Oh man. Sorry,
Oh, you
Ryan
do
just
it.
kind of Ryan needs a second to think.
Nah,
through it.
take your time. Now being outside, like hearing that and seeing like the Banshin immediately would have called Echo Nalf out and literally saying to everyone, "We need to be ready to move in," because he was doing great, but this has changed things now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just stalling for Ryan so he can process.
Okay.
Yeah. Here.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
I was just gonna ask Joe, is there a different entrance that seems the least guarded?
Let me
Okay,
see
that's a
here.
no.
No, there is one on the far right-hand side, and I can go ahead and move you 5 there. That you could see that. There you go. Oh. Okay.
I'll also say, because if the party's moving as well, if Twig's gonna be keeping tabs on Yorick, Twig won't be able to see.
Yeah.
Nalf will guide her. It's like seeing eye Nalf.
Seeing I
So I'm
know.
like, we could do a mix, but I'm also just like, I don't want to miss the moment where shit gets fucked
No.
with Yorick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we need to
Nope.
know.
Since like Twig is looking through like the eyes of that familiar, would she be able to describe enough to Yuri of where like Yorick went that she'd be able to dimension door to where he is if we needed to?
Yes, you would, because it's a big enough room. There wouldn't be an issue of you teleporting inside
Right.
somebody.
Oh, okay. So wait, how many people can go through Dimension Door? Anybody?
It's only one.
Just-
Like I can bring one person with me, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
like if we really need to, she could grab like one of us and like so that we at least have like 2 people with Yorick right away.
Right. And Lila has Dimension Door too, right?
I have a use of Dimension Door, but then I can't use other things, which is fine. But just everyone keep that in mind. I can't use other things like teleportation, circle,
Nah, let's
blink.
save that then. Okay.
So
Well, we'll just see where things go.
Yeah.
yeah, because if we need
You know,
to
I feel-
get down there, that's totally fine. I just wanted everyone. I'm like, it's not like a one use and then it's back, and then I have to wait how many days, Joe, for things to come back? It like takes a few.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see where things go. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
have our options ready.
Alright, so Yor kind of cracks a smile at the Banshin, not knowing it's a Banshin. Is it a problem that my soul belongs to someone else already? He just kind of motions to his horns.
The Banshee looks, and you can see the very much like you know in the Return of the King when the mouth of Sauron kind of like snarls and the mouth kind of opens really wide. Yeah, it's something very similar to that, where it's a.
You must understand. No one trumps his will. Whatever demon or devil owns your soul, their will is not strong enough to resist. Is an oath an issue?
Sorry, go on.
Is an oath an issue?
No. But I do have a question before I say it. Do you fear the Dark One?
Do I fear him? With his strength, I fear nothing.
York smiles. You'll be afraid of me. And he's going to use his channel divinity and use Conquering Presence.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that's our signal. I think that's our safe word. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the ability, Joe?
No, you'll need to drop it in the chat. Oh, this is
Well,
not
I
good.
can't drop it, but I'm gonna copy and paste it.
You should be able to do that with D&D Beyond, I thought.
Oh, really? I don't know how to do that.
Well, it's okay here. I can
Features and traits.
channel Divinity Conquering Presence. Here you go. As an action, force creatures, force chosen creatures within 30 feet to make a wisdom saving throw. They become frightened for 1 minute. Okay. How many creatures? You make a wisdom saving throw. Each creature within... Okay, your choice. So within 30 feet.
Oh, it's all of them. They're all within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
So Yard just like stamps his foot on the ground, and outside of like all the where his like plate armor kind of like meets up, just all this like dark smoke just rushes out and fills the entire room. And whether or not they get affected or not, I guess we'll see.
Okay. All right. Wisdom saving throw. So we'll do 1 DC 15. Fail for the first one. For the 2 that are next to each other, fail. Fail. Then for the 3, fail. Fail. Ooh, oh my god, fail. Okay, so all of these creatures, all of these cultists are frightened. As well as these ones. Oh, I have to... Oh, I thought I could select all of them.
Fear is sometimes the appropriate response.
That is true. Oh, no. Okay. Frightened. Okay, they're all frightened. Banshee time. This is a... okay, yeah. Divine Presences aren't considered magical effects, so it's just a straight roll.
Yeah!
What's the wisdom saving throw? Oh, wow. Okay. So, God, why do I suck at math? That's 17.
That's a pass.
Pass. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. So you can see the rest of the cultists. They begin to sort of shriek away in fear as they're ready to move off to the side and begin to run away. And the Banshee laughs and says,
Oh, you poor, poor fool.
As he goes to sling the warhammer around, ready to fight. Before anything else can happen, you hear two doors open, one and then a second one into the room that you're in. And entering in, you can see a large Goliath man, standing 10, maybe 12 feet tall, hair growing from the top of his head all the way down to the back of his knees. This mane of white hair. And these cracked veins of deep shadow around his eyes. As Yorick, you also don't know who this is. And the rest of the party, even with your knowledge, would be able to recognize that the cracked shadow and ash around the eyes is that of the Forsaken, but you do not know who this man is.
Can Lila...
I
can
mean-
Lila do sending and tell him?
Yuri's also sending and going, get the fuck out, get the fuck out. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he
I
needs
also
out.
believe that we read that there was that Goliath
Okay,
Forsaken when we were
okay.
in Emerald's
I think
thing,
we did.
So we would
Oh, an
definitely-
Emeriel's thing. Yeah, that's right. Okay, you would have read that then, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
But that
this
was
whole
the first
time, like,
door.
as soon as Yorick started pulling shit, this girl's just be digging into your shoulder, like, it's probably drawing blood at this point, you know?
Get the fuck out.
And
yeah.
the
Plate armor on.
the
What's in the
Goliath's
second door?
voice boom. So you just heard him walking through one door and then a second one in order to get to that room. His feet sort of slamming into the ground. You can see he's not wearing armor and he doesn't have a weapon on him right now. But he looks through the door to the Bon Sheen and looks at the two of you. And you can see this just look of disgust come over his face as his voice sort of booms across the room and says,
Put your weapons away, both of you. You wish to make a deal. Come speak with someone that won't try and intimidate you first. If you wish to serve his will on your own accord, very well. All that matters is that he is served. I know your mother taught you different, but I will have no ambition. I will have servitude and devotion. Put your weapon away.
and he turns around with the intention of you following him, Yorick.
Does the Bon Sheen put his weapon away?
He does, yeah. You can see that, like, smile just sort of begin to fade and shrink on his face.
Yorick will just start walking, and he'll just shoot a smile at the Bon Sheen as he keeps walking, and then just glance over at all these cultists who are fucking terrified of him as he's just walking past them.
Okay.
Did you say 2 doors opened though?
Yeah, the first door was just, so if you look at Yorick's vision, you'll be able to see what I mean right now. Where I said 2 doors open because one door opened that Yorick couldn't see, and then a second door opened that Yorick could see.
I
So
see,
Yorick-
because I was like, who's the other guy?
Walks through the
Oh,
first door,
no.
and then there's a second door right here that Yorick is open as you get there. As you can see, the Goliath man sort of duck underneath the door frame and walk into an office.
What's over here?
Those just are small areas to retrieve water.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
just
they
like, I
take
don't know
care
if
of
these are meant to be cells or something.
their
Like,
workers.
No.
It's very nice of them.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone's
And York
hydrated.
will, he'll of course head into the office.
Okay. As you head into the office, you see a couple of things. So for one, there's a table full of papers and journal notes. You can see some knives and weapons across one table. And then on the very, very far end, you can see sort of impaled into the ground is this massive greatsword that's about, it's a little bit taller than Yorick. And it is glowing white hot with magic thrumming, sort of almost to a degree, kind of melting the stone around it. So you see that, and then you see, as you step in, chained and in a cage, a hobgoblin woman with deep red skin and long brown hair that matches the description of Geldovan. As you can see, Loro Khan, he makes his way and he grabs his sword and just sort of leans on it. And you can see as he leans on it, the sword melts through the stone until eventually it reaches a deep enough layer where it's not melting as fast.
Whoa.
And he says in that thrumming, echoing voice as one of the cultists shuts the door behind you as you now stand next to Geldovan's cell.
What purpose do you come here for? I get a sense. The Dark One's best interests are not in your heart.
Looking over to him, York gives a nod. You're right. I came because I had my own personal interests in mind. I'm looking for information, actually.
Bold of you to come here. I don't know how you learned of this place, or learned the words to speak to enter, but it shows boldness. I respect that from an outsider. So, what information do you seek?
I want information on Azrio.
What I thought was intelligence is merely just a small boy searching for a fairy tale. I don't know what you think you're looking for. But from what I know, thousands of dead gods' corpses float amongst the astral sea. Because your Azrio is nothing more than a carcass of an entity that once had so much power, but gave it away.
Believe it or not, that's actually the kind of news I was hoping to hear. Who's this one? Looking over to Geldovan.
A insubordinate asset. They served us for a while, serving one of our investments, so to speak. And well, they failed. But sadly, it is not my job to decide should she live or die. You see, I'm a man of order. or respect authority. So, I will await what sentence she must be served. I do hope, though, I hope it is a long death.
So, what would you have me do for you?
Do you also believe in order and authority?
Depends on who's in control. Plenty of leaders have authority, and they use it incorrectly, and thousands, if not millions, suffer for it. That I do not respect.
Good.
True leadership, those that should be in charge being in charge, 100%.
Good. Same as the children out there. The one you spoke with. There are other servants of his will that are insubordinate. They believe they know what is best. They betray their family, their home, their kingdom, their nation, their brother, their sister. And they believe they are deserving of everything. All of the magic of the Dark One they believe belongs to them. And when they don't receive it, they act out. This evening there is a ball that the merchant lords and ladies throw the second Friday of every month. One of those servants has risen in the ranks here after failed ventures in Wheat Hill. I would like you to remind her who she works for and who gave her the power she has. Her name is Eileen Sananios. The heraldry she wears is that of a blue and white Atarashian dragon. A serpent, more so. You'll find her there. And if my intel is correct, she'll be making a deal with one other of my ilk. One who is ambitious. The mother of that child out there. I don't know where and I don't know when. But what I want you to do is when you find her making said deal.
And he reaches back on the table and tosses you a rock.
Grabs it.
Crush that. And,
Whoa.
well, everything will work out. I will appear, and I will make sure that both parties are reprimanded for going against his will.
And Jorg will kind of just put the rock in like his bag. Anything else I need to know for this?
If you see any spiders at the event, ignore them. Pretend they're not there.
That I can do. Will that be all?
You know what? One more thing. I hate looking at this one like the helpless dog she is. Take her with you. Make her useful. And, should things grow awry, all you need to do is speak this word.
And on a piece of parchment, he writes out a word and hands it to you, Yorick. And you're not even sure about the language, but for some reason you know how to speak it.
Oh.
And whatever language this is, the word is kill.
Oh, okay.
say that aloud and... The collar she wears will do the rest for you.
When it's all done, do you want me to come back here?
No. I'd prefer you not return after that. Keep her as a prize, and I'll deem that as justice dealt. If he has any problems with what I've decided to do, I'll be sure to reach out. But considering you help level the playing field, I'll be sure to make sure you're rewarded.
Yorick gives a nod. And I'd like to roll an insight check. Yorick's wondering if he's being set up and this guy knows more about Yorick than he's letting on.
Yeah, sure, make an insight check.
Okay, that is 19.
19, okay. Yeah, as far as you can tell, Yorick, he's being honest about what he wants you to do and why he wants you to do it. The thing is, you can tell that there's a lingering threat to all of this. Whether it be the end of a phrase or the end of a word, the small glimpse at his sword, the glimpse at the collar, and a glimpse at you, there is a threatening air where you can tell that this Forsaken has the utmost respect for the Dark One, but thinks very little of the other Forsaken. With a 19 on your insight, you can gather that. When he was talking about him, he wasn't talking about, he doesn't care how the Dark One feels about it. He doesn't care how, what you know to be Cassius feels about it. He doesn't care what Cassius thinks. And he's saying that if the Dark One learns that you helped level the playing field and discover what Malice is planning, then, well, I'm sure the Dark One won't care that you keep a pet with you as payment. But there is a lingering, threatening air that if you try to do what what specifically Malice is trying to do to him, if you try and play him, it's not going to end well for you.
Gotcha. Okay. Then I'll wait to hear from you then.
Very good.
Geldervan's like in a cage or something? Or...
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take this one and depart. I need to buy myself something nice to wear, it seems.
Good. With that, he'll smile and he'll, you can see the cage isn't locked.
Oh.
He had a way, if she ever tried to get out, he had a way just to kill her. So the cage was really just there to make her feel small. And he opens the door to the cage and she gets out. And she is incredibly angry. And she is staring at you. She wants nothing more than to kill you right now, Yorick. But sadly, she doesn't know your purpose here, so probably be that way for a while.
Yorick just gives her like a smug smile. Let's get going then. And he'll kind of motion for her to go forward first.
Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good to me. Alrighty. So with that, you gather Geldovan and you head out of the area. As you pass by, the Bansheen is no longer there, and neither is the Dowie artifact. Just the cultists, who now the fear has passed, and Geldovan follows behind you. Which I will also... just because I forgot to in the moment, share with you the art for Lorokan. Now, the only downside is the weapon he has in this art is an axe, when in all reality, like I said, he has that great sword.
Gotcha.
But this is Lorokan.
Oh boy.
What am I ass?
I do not
little
care
birds.
for him.
So with that,
Man.
but the sword is that same, like it looks like it was just recently heated metal. And with that, you leave. Geldovan at your side. The party sees that. And with that, all of you would be able to reconvene a fair distance away from the area.
I was about to say, Yorick would go start walking towards, like, the west for, like, blocks to try and get away with this, just in case there's still eyes on him, like, many blocks before they even risk having the group come up to them.
Yeah, we can say that you wait until you get about there, which seems to be like a smaller, or a fairly large, like, apothecary of some kind as you get there. But as you all reconvene, Geldovan walking behind you, Yorick, eventually she does turn and look behind her and sees the party approaching. And you can see Geldovan, without knowing the full situation, her face like lights up with happiness, and then fear, and then panic, and then anger once again, and then more panic, like trying to look around, scan, trying to figure out how to get away, trying to figure out how to prevent this death from happening. And as you all approach, that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. Woo!
Oh, alright.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
I did it!
I thought shit was gonna go real tits up for a
Yeah,
second.
same.
Yeah. Luckily,
All sweaty.
luckily the one of the Forsaken that's in Hearthcrest is at least a little bit more lawful. So that's good for you that you you stumbled in the place with him and not Malice.
You said one of the Forsaken?
Yeah, Malice is also
Well,
here.
Yeah. Rhino's probably here as well. He's always fucking everywhere.
Yeah, Rhino's everywhere all at once.
Rido's
Exactly.
gonna fucking be here too. Like for real. he's
Oh
gonna
my
be here
god.
soon.
Lila was like, first it was my teacher, now it's my home. Jesus Christ. Corellian,
How
please.
many tall rooftops are there in Halfcrest, you know?
Oh my god, so many.
There are, yeah,
Think Chicago.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
New York.
there
yes,
are.
cities I'm very familiar with, thank you.
Let me send a
Thinking,
picture.
yeah, any of
Great
the
time.
places on here that are like green and taupe colored that are circular, those are all towers that are about 9 or 10 stories high, the same height as Lila's home.
So, like, you know, theoretically, really good sniping range.
Yes,
Yeah.
Theoretically, yeah.
theoretically, yes. Alrighty.
Bye.
Well, with
We
that,
are. We're gonna die.
we'll go ahead and hop over to break, and we'll be right back.
long have yearned for your tender caress, to bind our fortunes. Damn what the stars own, rend my heart open, then your love profess, a winding, weaving fate to which we both atone. You flee, my dream come the morning, your scent berries tart, lilac sweet, to dream of raven locks and twisted stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep. The wolf I will follow into the storm, to find your heart, its passion displaced by our ever-growing, hardening into stone, amidst the cold to hold you in a heated embrace. You flee, my dream come the morning, your scent berries tart, lilac sweet, to dream of raven locks and twisted stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep. I know not if fate would.
Ba-na-na-na.
88 points psychic damage
Hey,
there.
we're
That
back.
was so good.
And let's go ahead and dive back into today's session. I don't even know what to do after that.
Oh, so good.
Be sure that you check out the Explorers of Afera retrospective coming out tomorrow. R.I.P. Woo! Or if you're watching this on YouTube, it's already out. Go watch it. It's a good conversation. See, everything is content. Everything is advertised all the time. By the way, this week's episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
It's sick, dude.
It's not, though.
Hey, but Raid, you could. I've played Raid Shadow Legends, and I enjoyed it. And I'm not proud of that fact.
It's also sponsored by BetterHelp. If you need to just talk out your emotional damage that you've taken, give them a call.
Give them a call.
Geldovan.
Do they have an app?
Let's go play. No, I don't know. I don't
This
know if they have
episode's
any-
sponsored by Manscaped.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Let's just.
Anyway.
I wish I could be like
Yeah.
Binging with Babish and say this episode's sponsored by Bounty. You know, like the paper towel company.
I
Oh, hell
love
yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
I love his channel.
I know, me too. Oliver
Anyway.
Babish. Anyway, yeah, so let's dive into the rest of today's episode. So, picking up where we left off, our group of adventurers, mainly just one of our adventurers, had a very, very rough time. Starting off the session, an old woman whose name was Kayla
Wow, a little on the nose there.
mistook Nalfian for another drow man because she wasn't wearing her glasses and thought that he was purchasing a doll full of drugs.
What a racist.
I wish you would have just accepted it because I had the drugs ready and that would have been fun, but
Aw.
yeah,
Well, oh well.
it's
Go
okay.
sell on the drugs.
You'll just have to go back and buy some. Kayla's racist. Ooh. Anyway, so after that, the party had a much easier, fun-filled time going to investigate the shady dive bar, where nothing bad happened. Some of those bad things that didn't happen is Yorick was face-to-face with not just one of the Bansheen wielding a Dowie artifact, but also face-to-face with one of the 13 Forsaken that has not yet actually been introduced yet, aside from during the one-shot all the way back when, in place of one of the Salamander Coast sessions, Lorokan Kalukatho, one of the Goliaths of the Hearthstone. An individual standing 10 or 12 feet tall, long white hair all the way down to the back of their knees, and a long braided beard off their face. This Forsaken strikes a deal with Yorick. He doesn't make him pledge an oath to the Dark One, Instead, all he wants him to do is go to the ball that's happening tonight in Iverion, in the Hornwood Manor, and find one individual speaking to another. A dark elf woman at one point in time will be going to speak with Aline Sananios, an individual who already is rather the party is suspicious of, considering their treatment of the Jalak family. Now the party has confirmation that Aline is a dark friend of some sort, and even more so has a connection to Aline in Wheat Hill as well. So with that, Yorick has given his mission, and he's given a friend to assist him. Geldevan Tark, the hobgoblin who was at one point in time the Watcher on the Wall, is given to Yorick as a gesture of good faith towards him doing what's right. And Yorick understanding that if he betrays Lorokan, Lorokan will not take that lightly in the slightest. So with that, the party eventually is able to reconvene on the corner of Riverbend and 11th Street. As the group of you finally reconvene, Geldevan looking at you, Nalfian, you mouthing it's okay, her relaxing a little bit. And as the party is catching up, you can see she turns and looks to you, Yorick, and for a moment sort of looks side to side and looks back behind her and says to you under her breath, "Do you know those behind us? Those people approaching?"
Yeah. Yeah, they sent me.
Oh, they did?
Hmm?
Oh.
But don't make too much eye contact. I'm still not sure we're clear of everyone yet, so.
Of course. I didn't know you knew them.
No, it's all good. It's recent, you know.
I'm going to apologize for all of the bad things I thought I was going to do to you. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you're good. Wouldn't be
Okay.
the first time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, don't worry about it.
At about that point, the party is able to get to the corner.
Are we close to Lila's house, or do we have to make that?
No, you have to make that journey back.
Then Nalfian would advise us not to even walk near it, because we don't know who's in the city and who's watching.
Okay.
So Nalfian is gonna have his little dragon friend, whose name I can't remember it for some reason.
Tanir.
Tanir, Jesus,
Tanir.
yeah. Go and tell York to kind of take some interesting turns as he makes his way back to Lila's house. And we'll meet him there. That way, if people are following or watching, try to throw him off a little bit. We just need to take 2 separate paths before we get back.
Okay, tell Nalfian I've never been here and I don't know this city. I only know the one path we took to get here.
Alright, you take that path.
No,
Just sending
all you-
Tanir back and forth.
No, it's really simple. All you have to do. Listen, I'm not even from this plane of existence. You just have to take 2nd Street all the way up. You know what? Fine. You take the way you need to go. I'll go tell them that.
Alright, cool, thanks.
You're welcome. Humanoids. And he flies away. And he lands on your shoulder, Nalfi, and he says, "Okay, so he told me he only knows the one way. He's not very familiar with the city. Maybe something about the city being overwhelming to him and him being a little scared. That's kind of what I heard, at least. The subtext, maybe...
Alright, listen, we'll just
Yeah.
take a different...
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
he's
sure he doesn't get
scared.
lost.
I didn't know that.
I could see it in his eyes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's overwhelming.
Yorick has his helmet on.
We pseudo-dragons have natural intuition.
Make sure he doesn't get lost.
Okay, I'll go tell him that." He flies away, lands on your shoulder, Yorick. "They said not to get lost.
Don't get lost. What kind of advice is that?
Oh,
They
also,
take
you can
before?
take the path that you know. And don't get lost. That was the first thing.
Alright. We'll see him there.
Okay, anything else? I mean, I'm already on my way back.
Nope.
All right."
Definitely not.
Tanir flies away. He lands on your shoulder, Nalfian. He says he misses you all very much.
I'm sure he does.
Well, it
Nice.
sounds like he has separation anxiety. Ugh, never knew that.
Mm. Yeah.
Coffee is giving Tanier a look.
Hey. Whoa. And you can see that's all he says. And then he curls up into your cowl.
Since Twig's little squirrel is over by where Galdavan and Yorick is still, it's just gonna jump from Yorick's shoulder to Galdavan's to hopefully give a little bit of comfort, because obviously she's been through a rough ass time.
Yeah. Emotional support
just
animal.
jump on over, big old
Okay.
fluffy tail, and just kind of like cuddle up to her neck.
Oh. Oh. And you can see she sort of reaches up and scratches it. I can only assume that you must belong to Twig. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that's Carl.
Carl?
Hmm.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's just another 2 hours until we get there.
Okay. So with that, eventually the entire party is able to reconvene at Lila's tower. The Tatiana Tower, right on Hornwood Boulevard. So, all of you are able to enter, Yorick and Geldavan being the first to enter. You are greeted by Alfred, who Alfred smiles upon your entrance, and he says, "Oh, well, hello, it is very nice to see you again, Sir Yorick. Master Yorick, I mean. Sorry, I did not mean to impose that title upon you. I see you
It's all
bring
good.
company with you."
Yeah. This is a friend. Don't worry, the others will be back soon, so you
Very good.
can like approve it or whatever. So,
Is there anything you would like me to retrieve while you are here?
I imagine you'd like a hot meal or something. Kind of looking over to Caldevan, like what
Yes.
I don't know.
If it's not too much to ask, a hot meal and... I'm not too familiar with... I'll ask later, never mind. A hot meal would be wonderful. Yes, very well, of course. Your name, young lady? Geldavan kind of like looks... Geldavan is fine. Of course. Well, Lady Geldavan, I will go get you a warm meal and a hot drink as well. Would you like a change of clothes? Yours are looking a little worse for wear. I would be more than happy to prepare them if you'd like. Thank you. That would be kind of you. Very well. Well, when Lila and the rest of them arrive, if I am not here, rest assured, tell them I will be here as soon as I can. Wonderful. So many guests. Woo! And he heads off. With that, the hot meal is eventually returned. A change of clothes. Geldavan is given some privacy to go change into clothes that are not tattered and burned and like partially destroyed. Into what would be a more modest but still very nice set of clothing, a tunic, some vestments, and a pair of pants and some boots that would make her fit in with the upper echelon of society here. On the lower end of that upper echelon, but still up at the top. Eventually, the rest of the party does arrive. And as all of you arrive, you can see Geldavan slowly eating some soup and other warm items, drinking some tea, while Yorick sits and awaits your arrival. And as all of you enter, Geldavan does shoot up and make her way over to all of you and say, thank you so much. I'm very appreciative that all of you came. I didn't know anyone knew where I was. I know we didn't leave off on the best terms, but I had a lot of time to think, and before we go any further, I want to thank you once again for helping me and seeing a side of me that I hadn't seen in a long time, even if it was Grok that sort of got the ball rolling. I'm still very appreciative that you were willing to give me a chance. And I want to try and make that up to you now in whatever way I can.
Well, we definitely have a lot to talk about. We're glad that we were able to get you back safe. Good work, Yorick.
Ah, thanks. Had it under control the whole time.
I'm sure.
I wouldn't say that was exactly true.
What do you mean?
Mm.
Gelderman, it is very nice to meet you.
Oh, yes. I have to
Yes.
say, I do not recognize you, but thank you.
That's okay. My name is Lila, and this is like my home. So please make yourself at home here. We have a room for you and everything.
Oh, that is...
Well, thank you for, and she like gestures down at the clothes that she has on, now realizing that they're yours. And I do want to ask you, Lila, because you are one of the merchant families, your family also does have a sort of crest and emblem that would be on a lot of the clothing, so people know, what family you belong to. You might not wear it as often because you spend most of your time in the college, but these clothes would have that symbol on it. So what do you want that symbol to be, Lila?
Yeah, I definitely think it would have the Corellian star, along with definitely like the Feywild inspiration, maybe like some vines and flowers coming off of it. It's like, for my grandfather or great grandfather, I don't remember. And then probably also something, not the like hearth crest symbol itself, but maybe something similar or related to hearth crest, kind of all layered on top of each other. Maybe like the hearth crest and then the star underneath it, and then the layer underneath that would be like all the vines and everything.
Okay, very nice. And then the colors?
Definitely, probably a lot of like purples, greens, and yellows. That's my guess. Purple,
Okay.
green, yellow.
All right. And very much you can see that is the that is what Geldervan has on. And she obviously is very thankful and says,
I'm very appreciative of your family's hospitality already. But it is a pleasure to meet you. You weren't with this group in Highland Pass. I'm not sure how much you've heard about all of that, but I can promise you that's not who I am anymore.
I understand. And I mean, they gave me the rough, skinny of it all, but I believe everyone is capable of being great. So don't worry about it.
She gives a very genuine smile and nods.
Thank you. So, what is the plan then, if you don't mind me asking?
Excellent question.
Yeah. Yeah. I think things have significantly grew way more challenging than expected. Just want to make this very well known. Yorick, friend. The dark elf woman. Her name is Malice. She is my mother. Thought I should throw that out there. Yeah, that's what most people say. Here's the thing. If Malice is here, she already knows that I'm here. She already knows we. Whether that's good or bad, I don't think is neither here nor there. I think that's just a fact. I will say, she knows that we're here. Haven't seen a spider in sight. Haven't seen her. Haven't. What I'm trying to say is, we are not her priority by any means. Which is a good thing in the sense that we aren't on her radar, but I don't know how we want to approach this whole striking a deal. Because whatever Malice is planning, it is very much for her, not for the Dark One. Thoughts?
I mean, I don't know why we would do anything to help them. We have no reason to help them. So, I guess there's no reason to interfere with the deal, but
I mean, we do a little bit to create some more infighting between the 13. That's good for us, isn't it?
well, I think that's going to happen already. But the thing you're going to help is getting them. No. I don't know. I guess I don't see why we should prioritize it. I don't know if that
Say,
makes sense.
Lila, if she's making a deal with this Eileen character, it's not going to be good for your city. I mean,
Well, I was
what's
going to say it would be good to know what is the deal. We don't know anything about what that is. Yeah, the
Correct.
San Anios person is awful, but I don't know. I guess I just am pretty lost with what's been going on in general.
maybe your father would have some insight.
Or my mom. She's not been around, but she always knows what's going on. So I could contact B, see if she knows anything about the San Anios family.
I think the more we know about what their intention is, easier this might be to process. If Malice is involved in any way, I mean, her fingerprints are all over it. Look at that man we found out there. That's textbook. Well, if it was done right, he wouldn't have been out there, but... I don't know.
Well, didn't this Eileen person is from Wheat Hill, right? Sound a little familiar?
Mm.
Came
Now
here
for
very
Steve
suddenly.
Fury. We are, like, making that connection, right, Joe? Like, that's the same person that was there.
Yeah, what Lorokan said is that, not that she was from Wheat Hill, but she had a failed business operation in Wheat Hill.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I was making sure. We're all the same. It's probably the same chick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If we're able to find out what the deal is that Malice is trying to make, maybe it's something we could then handle without getting the other Forsaken involved. I mean, especially if Lila has her connections and everything. Might be able to stop the Senators doing anything that they shouldn't.
I will also say, I've seen what Lorokan can do. He would... Ever since I was retrieved by him and some of the Banshin, he would make example of individuals in front of me. I'm afraid for Yorick if he doesn't do what Lorokan wants. Lorokan might not be the most... He might not be the most gifted magically, but he is an expert hunter and tracker. And, well, the strength of the Goliaths runs strong through his veins. That's for sure.
Not to play devil's advocate, especially for that piece of shit, but
If Malice survives,
the fucking same, sorry, the same be said. So if we do this, if it comes down to it, I guess we better hope our new dark friend can take care of business.
Well, I guess, are we taking care of one problem to help another? Like, there's a
I mean,
regardless, he's here, they're here. There's nothing good happening.
No, absolutely not.
So I just don't feel like we know enough to even make a decision. Like, yeah, we could stop this deal to help something even worse. We don't know anything.
I mean, that even worse would be helping the Dark One, right? I mean, that's exactly what we don't want to do.
Yeah. And what are they even doing down there? Like, good thing we know that they're there, but we know nothing as to why. I mean, maybe Galdivan, if you know, why are they here?
I'm not exactly sure as to why. The most I can gather is they're here to assist Aline in whatever she's trying to accomplish, but I'm not sure what she's trying to accomplish. She never came there. They use that area as a recruitment spot, finding people that are either down in their luck or wish to join, I believe, what they call just a mercenary group, a thieves' den. And then once they get there and it's too late, then, well, if you're already that down in your luck, then I suppose you're not going to say no to someone like Lorokan.
This is just speculation, but I agree. We need to, Lila, hopefully speak with mother or father, someone been here for the past few months, knows what's going on, get that information. But knowing what I know about Malice, if they're working together, Eileen is going to take out many of the top houses in the city as she possibly can without getting caught. Turn that profit into her profit until she owns everything in Hearth. And if she does it well enough, no one's gonna bat an eye. And then all of that power, all of this wealth, all of this profit, all of the trade, hell, I don't know how far this reaches, but maybe even the college. Now the Dark One has an inside. Things will function as normal, I'm sure. Some people will just go missing in the night. But they're gonna play this as if powers just simply shifted hands. But this is a whole city that they're going to have under their control. Again, I am only speculating with things that I have seen happen. You're right. I don't think a decision can be made right now. But this is just the insight that I have.
What time is the ball?
It's fairly late. It's at about 9 o'clock. So,
It's like, what, 2, 3 now?
yeah.
We've done 6 hours of walking.
Yeah, it's about 2 o'clock right now.
So
Past
we
Twig's
can
bedtime. Oh.
either try and handle this on our own without crushing the rock and having the Goliath go after Yorick/us, or we can hope that it doesn't feel something else that we're unaware of, crush the rock, and have Malice want to kill all of us because we interfered.
I will add one thing, and I don't know if it is helpful or not, because I don't know if any of you would like to involve more people in this. But to my knowledge, Lorokan is one of the last few Kalukatho Goliaths. And before I joined with House Markle and the Great Deceiver, I'll call him,
I spent some time in the Western Salamander. And I crossed paths with a man who specialized in the killing of giant kin. I could reach out to him and see if that is something that he would be interested in.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea, but
That's one of the 13. It's not just
Yeah.
Frank.
Well, this isn't also just a normal man. He's one of the Odinsons.
That was Felicity. Who is this? I can't say that. Who is it? What?
Wait, which one was the giant killer? I feel like we don't.
Thor
Was it
killed
That's
Thor?
what I
Yeah,
thought it
okay.
was
Yeah.
Thor, but I
He
wanted
takes
to
great fun in
confirm.
doing it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's get Thor in here. Why not?
Oh my
Fuck off.
god.
The Thor
Check it
Odinson.
out.
He's the one I crossed paths with.
Does Lila know much about Thor Odinson or
No.
the Odinson family?
Yeah, they're world leaders. Yeah, you definitely know
Yeah.
about Odin's massive wealth of knowledge, his rule of Fjordaleth. You know of the tragic death of Tyr as well, and how Odin now leads honorably in his stead. That's the information that Lila
Yeah.
has, because
yeah,
right, he's
Lila
a
has that one.
master manipulator and has changed all of the information coming out of Fjordaleth. And you know of his 3 sons. His 3 children.
Did I hear about the death of the grandsons?
No. That was a little too recent.
Okay.
Not recent. That was a while ago, but it definitely has not come out at all yet. That mixtape hasn't dropped yet.
Fair.
So you do know of Loki, the shape-changing child of Odin, a trickster, and a manipulator. At least that's what most people call them. There is also Balder, who is a cleric, the nicest, most welcoming, and warm of all of the Odinson children. And then there is Thor. Thor has a lot of renown as a great warrior and a champion of the Odinson name. Definitely the child that Odin is most proud of, and there's no doubt in your mind about that. But Thor has been known to slay many a great beast on his own, whether it be a dragon or a basilisk on his own, or even defeating small battalions of soldiers by himself. He is a very powerful individual.
Well, maybe we should. With whichever decision we go with, it's still one of the 13 that we need to get rid of.
Right. Maybe if everyone's in agreement, reach out and just see what he would say. But again, I think, Lila, your point still stands. We need to speak with someone and get more of a rounded understanding of what is exactly happening.
Lady Tatiana, you and the rest of your friends have arrived. As Alfred enters, I've prepared some small snacks and some warm drinks just from the weather. I also brought new cloaks just in case you need them. So there is that for you. Is there anything else I can get you in the time being?
No. Well, can you... Alright. Can you just measure these two, and then you guys tell him what you like, and then could you maybe talk to my father's tailor and see if we can get something whipped up pretty quick. We are going to be going to that ball tonight, and I know I have stuff to fit these two, but not these
Wonderful.
two.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, in fact, Lila, that is quite good to hear. I know I had mentioned earlier that I didn't know if your mother would be back in time, but I just received word a little bit ago your mother will be arriving just in time for the ball, so she would be more than delighted to have you come along with her, as well as having your prestigious friends join as well. Of course.
I haven't seen her in forever. Oh my god, she kind of gets excited, then stressed, then excited, then stressed again. Like, you see it all on her face in like 2 seconds.
And you can see Alfred is just trying to match your energy, where he's like, yes, yay.
Yeah!
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wonderful, wonderful. Of course.
Yes, this is great news.
Great.
Also those baths. I need a bath.
Of course, the water has been prepared and it is still heated for you. If the two of you could just step over here so I could get some measurements, and he looks down at Geldovan and the collar.
And can we get this off?
I would be more than happy to make my best effort. I won't ask any other questions aside from this. Your privacy I respect. Is it magical or non-magical?
Magical.
Magical. That does complicate things. One more question. If removed incorrectly, would it do something bad?
Most likely, though unknown.
Very good. I will be extra careful and I'll get my extra special tools.
Can I also get some paper and ink when you have time? No rush.
Oh my god, this man.
Of course. So paper and ink, measurements, get the collar off. Anything else?
I think now.
Wonderful. Would you like me to inform your mother that you will be at the ball as well, or do you want that to be a surprise?
I think we should tell her. Tell her I have some friends coming as well. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Great. All right. Well, and you can see him move over to a small, like closet, dresser, desk, and he opens up a few drawers, pulls out some quill and ink, sets it on a table for you, Yorick. There is that for you, my good man. And then he'll get the measurements would be from, I suppose, Geldovan and just everybody except Lila.
Oh, well, she was gonna say that she can just well, it depends. Whoever wants a new outfit, get measured. Whoever wants something from Lila's closet, you can just come to Lila's closet. So.
Also, we're like not taking Geldovan to this ball, right? Just to make
I
sure
was
that
not
that's
going to.
No.
Okay, good. So she does not need measurements. She does not need anything. She's staying right
She
here.
just needs to stay here. She needs to unwind and have like
Okay.
I don't know, a movie night or something.
The number of previous hostages of the Dark One in Lila's tower is now 2. You have Jalak and Geldovan. I'm sure they'll do some
they have a
wonderful
cute
trauma
movie
bonding.
night.
Yeah.
They
Cute
could.
little movie night with
Yes.
Alfred. Chill out.
Alfred.
He's so cute. Let Alfred unwind.
Oh,
He needs
God.
it.
Yeah. Okay. So measurements are collected from whoever needs it. And Alfred would be sure to get those outfits ready for you before the ball this evening. The bath is set and heated for
Before
those of you.
everybody
Yes.
kind of like leaves, Nalfian's just gonna say, like, before they head off to take their baths, in a very serious tone, he just says, since there's no way of us not going to this ball, I'm going to ask every single one of you. You'll know her when you see her. Do not speak with her. Do whatever you can to avoid conversation. Please. This isn't about us. She could care less. But that doesn't mean she won't take the opportunity to mess with you.
What about when we're trying to figure out what the deal is about?
If we need to speak with her, you need to let me do that. Please.
Is he scared? Or
No. He's It's how I explain this. You can see his eyes every now and then dart in the direction of Twig and Eurydice as well. So you don't think he's afraid for him.
Okay, I respect.
I mean, Lila, I know you know this stuff well, so if absolutely needed, I would feel.
If I have to make a decision that I do think is best, I will be sure you're aware. I promise that. But I will also prioritize your feelings and your requests.
It is a safety issue. That's all. I'm hoping we can get out of this without even having to speak with her, but I don't know what to expect.
I understand.
Right.
But you better take a freaking bath. You need to unwind.
Yeah.
Everybody should. Just saying.
Alright, deal.
At that point, you can see Alfred come back into the room. He's got like a heavy leather apron on, 2 big gloves,
Oh my
a
God.
wand in one hand, like a toolbox of tools in the other, and he like
I
brings a
love this man
table
so
over,
much.
and he
What a legend.
he takes a pair of goggles off the top of his head and puts them on, and he's like, "All right, now, Geldervan, what I need you to do is stay perfectly still, all right?" And she just kind of, okay, all right, hold your breath.
Oh, can I identify it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, real
Before
quick.
you're
What
like,
if
wait,
We
Alfred.
tried to spell magic. What if we
Well,
just tried to
again-
spell magic on it?
That's
Let's
just what
identify
he's.
it first, and
Yeah,
then
that's.
Yeah.
see.
I mean, that's really just what he's
Yeah.
doing, just with flavor.
Eh,
That way, you guys don't have to use any of your spell slots. And he wants to do it.
He can do it. I mean, and if he wants to identify it too first, that's fine. If he can do all those things, I just was like, oh, yeah, I guess we could check it out.
Yeah, like he was doing all of those things. But
sweet.
what I will say is he'll let you know that it's pretty much a movable version, like an ear. You cannot remove it version of the item. Like I'm pretty sure it's the assassin's ring, where it is a fail-safe for assassins so they don't fall into enemy lines if they do get captured, where all they have to do is take off a ring and then they die. But this same magic is used in a collar that cannot be taken off. That all needs to be happen is in an audible range, just needs to speak the word and it does the same effect.
Dang.
So yeah, he'll inform you all of that, and he'll say as he gets ready, you can see the wand begins to like burn this bright white hot light, and he says, "And don't worry, I've done this many times before. You would not believe the amount of times your father wound up in a very similar situation." Zzz, as he starts cutting into the collar.
You wanna? He can't hear her at that point.
Sorry,
probably.
Lila,
She's
I
like,
can't
"Excuse
hear you.
My dad? Gosh.
I love Alfred. Oh my heart.
I do. I love Alfred. He's amazing.
Can we keep him? Can we just take him with us?
Take him with us
This
everywhere.
this is the D&D trope of the goblin. Like like the party meets a sweet goblin and you're like, we're gonna adopt you. And then said this time it's like it's 115-year-old halfling man who's a butler. Come on, buddy.
Like,
Love him.
Oh.
So we're all
imagine
splitting
how
up here.
much better the party will be if we had Alfred with us.
At
That-
all times. I agree.
That's true.
And he's
Also,
under Tatiana employment, so you know.
I mean, I just need to ask Dad pretty please. And then probably.
Yeah, ask your dad for anything you want. It's just don't ask him to listen to you.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. That's the only thing. But Lila will say, so anyone who wants to raid my wardrobe, just come on over after the bath. I'm going now. Goodbye. And she's gonna go take a bath.
Amazing.
You like looked at Twig like, are we supposed to know
where to go?
Oh, yes, ma'am, it's very, simple. If you head up, I made sure to, oh, and he just kind of, like, flicks his wand and turns off the magic for a moment. It's very, easy. I tried to make it as straightforward as possible. If you head up those stairs, my dear, there will be a second floor to this level of the building, and I made sure to label them. So all you need to do is there's a teleportation circle. You step on it, whichever one has your name, and it'll take you to your own personal room.
Ooh.
And if you'd like to go to Lila's, you step on the teleportation circle that is labeled Lila, and it will take you there.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And he, like, puts the welder's helmet back and just through the collar.
He's amazing.
Okay. So with that, all of you head off into your own separate areas for the time being.
Like, after, like, getting cleaned up and stuff, Yorick would try to catch Lila before everyone goes to raid her closet, if possible.
Yeah, she'll probably just be in her room.
He'll knock on the door, because he teleports outside of it, I assume? I don't know how this works.
I guess.
Well, not
Hearing it in her
necessarily.
room just seems wrong, I don't know.
It does feel, like, very invasive.
Yeah,
It is.
exactly, I don't like that.
Not
Well,
in teleportation circles, so.
He waves at the ring doorbell
If-
outside the teleportation circle.
So how it works is
Yeah,
that whenever you're going into someone's room that is not your own, you pretty much are put into a smaller room that is like an elevator, where then that person receives notice that someone's trying to teleport into the room, and then they can either approve or deny. So it is kind of like a ring doorbell.
That's really cool.
Well, when your dad is one of the headmasters of the college.
I know, but this is Felicity's like, this is really cool. Lila's like, this is every day, whatever.
Bing bong, bing bong.
All right, sounds good. Clicks yes or whatever. I don't know how. Maybe it's like a little like, you know, when you have a, oh shit. Oh, she could probably use her wand, and like just wave and it allows it. I guess we'll do that.
Wow. So Yorick teleports in, he's just like, wow, that's wild. Don't think I'll
Is
ever get
it?
used to that. Yeah,
Oh,
no, we don't have anything like this back where I'm from.
Oh.
It's neat though.
Yeah, I think Macavia should take some notes. It's been pretty fun. And then you'll see in her room, the ceiling is all like dark blue with gold stars and silver constellations and things. And it's actually gold and silver.
Ooh.
Then the curtains are like a lavender color. You see, like there's a little bit more of a Feywild like essence around like the room, but also definitely like think like vintage style like of furniture and everything with like curly handles and things like that, and big, and there is like French doors that lead out into a balcony and a huge bed. So she's probably just like going through her closet, like throwing things out on the bed, just looking for things. Hi, I hope you
So-
enjoyed your bath.
Oh yeah. Baths are always good. Hey, which one's your favorite? As he kind of motions up to like all like the constellations on like the sky. I mean, you've studied so many of them, but you gotta have a favorite.
Yeah, so my favorite one is actually the first one I ever studied, and she's gonna point to like the back corner of her room, and it's actually the first one I asked to have put on my ceiling, and it is Fea over there. She's the balance, and she's pretty freaking old, back towards the Calamity era. She was a monk actually, but she also focused on studies and finding balance in her life. She was a half-elf during a time of a civil war between elves and humans, so she really symbolized trying to find, you know, the balance of humanity, I guess. And yeah, she's the first one I really dove into, so she's my favorite, and I don't know, I just really connected with her really quickly. But yeah, there's a lot of really good ones, like that one, Queen Tariel. We don't know too much about her, just that she gives off the essence of nature. And then we have over there, that is the Jester. Actually, I should talk to Eurydice about that one. He was another one of the puppet people of Asmodeus, so interesting history there, but yeah.
Yeah. Cool. No,
Yeah,
that
I think
makes-
Fea's
that
my
makes
favorite.
sense. Cool. Well, hey, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know the others are coming. I need a small favor.
Sure.
And Yorick will pull out the parchment that sorry, 1 second. Yeah, but he's gonna pull out the parchment that you saw him writing on. And it's been wrapped up with a string, or it's in like an envelope if they have those in Illico right now. I don't know, but like it's sealed in some way, you know.
I'm sure they have like an envelope with like the oil stamp, or not oil, what is that? Wax. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't use like your family crest because obviously like not a line he should be crossing, but so it's just like a blank like wax seal, I guess.
Right.
And he'll hold it out to her. I need you to take this and keep it safe.
Mm-hmm. She'll take it.
And alright, and if I end up not making it, I need you to open it and follow the instructions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think you're not gonna make it?
I mean, I don't know. We're con between 2 of the 13. I mean, me especially, no offense. So, I don't know. I'm just being precautious.
Can I read him? Or try to? Not read his mind, just insight.
Oh wow, so NPCs, you'll read their mind willy-nilly, but
You're
I'm
respecting
trying!
your space.
Not cross boundaries.
I mean, yeah, of course you can roll an insight check.
Okay.
No, he's impossible to read.
He's still got the helmet on.
Emotions
Yeah,
all
I
over
can't
the
tell.
place. No, he'd have it off while they're like indoors, especially since they're like free of scrying and stuff.
You're sitting in the bath with the helmet on.
16 insight.
You can tell that he's nervous, like much more than you've probably seen him be before. But I mean, in terms of anything specific, I don't really think you have enough to go off of to draw any conclusions, minus kind of what he just said, that he kind of more than you guys almost are kind of caught really in the middle of this whole thing.
Gotcha. I mean, I'll definitely keep it safe. But try to relax. I know that's a lot to say. We can do this. And I think we will. I don't know if it's because one of my teachers was a 13 and I grew up right next to pure evil. I don't know what it is, but we got this. And I got your back. And diamonds. So if you die, you're fine.
You're just kind of has a look like, I feel like you're trying to be helpful, but it's not quite working.
I don't know if I was... I don't know. I just want you to know I can do that. So...
Sure, yeah, no, it's...
And that
that's
we
good.
got your back. And I guess Aventahala also really has your back, so... We'll be alright.
Well, I hope you're right. But, like y'all said, I guess we're just gonna try and figure out more information before me making a decision.
And according to a lot of my test scores, I'm right about 100% of the time, so you can trust me.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. I feel like I'm wrong about 90% of things.
That's still really good. Still an A.
No, he said he's wrong about 90%.
Oh, I thought you
of
said I
things.
get about a 90%. Oh, I
No.
misheard you.
He said he's wrong 90% of the time. But my
Shut-
improv was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you really held your own down there. That was pretty... I was stressing, so...
No, yeah, those were some ugly fuckers down there.
Mm-hmm. And you had
Anyways.
most of them under control, so see? We'll be all right.
Well, anyways, that was all. So I'm gonna let you go before everyone else shows up for dress shopping or whatever. So
Okay.
have fun with that.
I will. It's just stressful owning so many things because then I want to wear, like, I could make a statement, or I could go really subtle, or I could wear that color, or this one's super cute, but it's not in season. So yeah, we can move on.
And on that note,
it makes me really happy that that's what you're stressed about in your life right now.
I'd say there's
it's so stressful owning so many things.
a couple of dings as more people are arriving in Lila's room. So with that, Yorick, you head out back to the downstairs area, where and then Lila and eventually Twig and Eurydice arrive in your room, and we'll cut back to dress finding. Then we cut downstairs where Nalf, after your bath of relaxation, Yorick eventually returns down there, and you can see that Geldovan now, the collar has been removed, and Alfred is just kind of addressing some of the wounds around her neck, has taken the goggles and apron off, and is wearing he took off the leather apron and put on like a chef apron just to cover up any of like the wounds, because you can see around her neck the skin is pretty worn down, where it's pretty raw, like when somebody wears a ring that's too tight. And he's sort of just addressing some of the wounds, bandaging it up a little bit, and applying some like healing salves to it, as the two of you are downstairs. And Alfred just says to Geldovan, "All right, well, there you go. You should be fine now. That was some very, very, very intense magic. I'm glad I was able to get it off of you. Is there anything you'd like in this current moment, or just enjoy your freedom?" "I'll just enjoy the freedom, thank you. If I need anything else, I'll ask. Thank you." "Of course. Oh, and look at that, Master Yorick. And I did also want to say, Sir Nalfian, is there anything the two of you would like in the meantime?"
I think I'm good.
I'm alright. Thank you, though.
All right. If you change your mind, well, as I said, remember, in all of your rooms, there are small books. You write something down, I receive it. All right?
Sounds good.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Arthur.
It's Alfred.
Oh, sorry. I'm bad with names.
You're fine. Not a problem. And you see he's kind of taken aback.
I said I was sorry.
Well, yes, of course. Well, farewell. And he scuttles out of the room. Alrighty. So with that, we have Geldovan, who's currently like lightly touching at her neck, and just sort of drinking in the freedom every once in a while, taking a small sip from a cup of tea, and Nalfian and Yorick. So are the three of you downstairs talking about anything in the current moment?
I mean, Nalfi doesn't really have anything to say right now. He's very internalizing a lot of things. His face doesn't look very friendly right now, I will say. So unless Yorick says anything, Nalfian is gonna... He's gonna go to his room.
You're going to let him go.
Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good. So with that, Nalfian, you head up to your room. Yorick, you sit down there with Geldovan. And then I suppose that note will cut back up to the ladies. So with Eurydice and Twig and Lila, Lila's closet, her wardrobe is big enough where there is something in there that could fit what you wanted to wear, even in your size. So, Twig, even though you are much smaller than Lila,
Well, she just has her archive wardrobe. This is like the Hannah Montana closet, just so everyone
Oh
knows.
my god.
Hell yeah.
so yeah, you're able
Sorry,
to.
Joe, not to cut
No,
you off.
no, it's a great example. It is exactly what it is. So, with that, the three of you are able to find whatever it is you were looking for, and something will be delivered later for Yorick and Nalfian. But is there anything the three of you were talking about in the meantime?
I don't think I have anything special other than being like, okay, what color do you like? You know, like we could role play picking dresses, but I don't know if we need to.
Nah, Yuri's like starstruck because I don't think she's ever seen this many dresses like just in one go. It's like, oh my god, okay. She does seem very nervous though, and she will kind of look at like she's like slightly directing this more to Twig. But she's still including Lina in the conversation. And she's just kind of like, so, Malice. That's something we might have to actually face tonight, which is much sooner than I thought we would have to. Are you okay with it?
I don't think it's something that we can avoid, though, right?
No. Obviously, it's not something we can really get around, but I mean, you know why this is such a big thing for Nalfian, and also, I mean, I worry a lot specifically for you in this situation.
Can I ask something of you, Eurydice?
Sure. Yeah.
Just... I know it's a ball and stuff, and so I'm sure, you know, with dancing and stuff that happens at ball, you'd want to, but, you know, want to dance with Nalthian and all that, but can you just always stay with me?
Okay. I promise that I won't leave you at any point, okay?
Thank you.
It's okay. We'll be fine, I'm sure, but we just need to be very much on our guard, especially if the person who was maybe even pretending to be my aunt back in Wheat Hill is indeed here.
This isn't going to be a good night, is it?
No, I'm sorry. But we just need to make sure that whatever dresses we pick out are practical. That is just a good thing to keep in mind.
I mean, can you really have a practical dress for this kind of thing, though? I feel like if you do, then it's not the kind of dress that you would have for the occasion, and it just creates a problem in itself.
True, but depending on what exactly you wear, you can kind of get away with things. Like this one, and she kind of like gestures to a dress, and it's like, it's nice, but it's like, it's light enough that you can move around in it.
Oh,
like,
and definitely no strapless dresses tonight at all. That would be
oh
bad.
yeah, no, that would be a mistake. But just something you can move around in. I mean, I guess I have the advantage though that most of my magic anyway, well, most of my stuff is magic, so I don't have to worry too much about moving. Yeah. She falters. She doesn't know what to say.
Do you guys not want to come?
No, at the very least, I'm coming. We're not letting Yorick or Alfian or you. No one's doing this alone, or without the others there.
Yeah, I mean, I just know the malice thing, I think, is really what's throwing everyone off. I mean, obviously the whole situation, but seems like it's a really big thing, the three of you.
Quick OC clarification. Lila doesn't know the context, does she?
Like, and as much as you guys have given her, but like not really, no.
Okay. Yuri kind of like gives Twig a look, like kind of being like kind of alluding to that, like that Lila doesn't quite understand why it's such a big thing. But Yuri will like say, it is definitely not our place to say it, so I won't. But there are some reasons why specifically Nalfian might be worried with me and Twig being there. Even more so Twig, considering Malice is also there. But I guess we have something to be grateful for in that she hasn't come for us yet. If we were her priority, as Nalfian said, she would have done that already. So if we just stay out of her way, with any luck, we'll be fine.
Okay. I'll be there for you guys too. Always.
Well, we're all there for each other. Hey, look at dresses, try to be happy.
Yeah, this is not fun. We're like, okay, well, let's see. This one you can run well in if you wear flats, so we'll use this one. A high-low, if you will.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Fun little transition.
Alrighty. So with that, we do a slow fade to black on that conversation because that's what it deserves. And with that, is there anything else anybody else wanted to do before you all reconvene down in the center all together to figure out your next steps?
Yee.
Where's Nalfian at?
Nalfian.
Went to his room.
He's in his room and apparently he wants to do something.
Yee. He wants
you say, oh god?
Wah, I don't want to do it anymore. No, she said edgelord, which is accurate actually.
Okay.
That's my
Here at Age Party now, I am brooding in my room alone.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, he's about to brood
Illy.
with himself. I'm gonna bring Echo now, Alf. No, but like Nalfia does want to summon Echo now, real quick.
Yeah, of course. So as you, I'm just going to go ahead and move to the combat screen real quick, just so I get your old man Nalf art. As you summon your Echo, once again confronted face to face with the older version of yourself, from the reality that you are from, kind of, but in something that you realize right now is it's not the reality you were from anymore, because, well, in whatever reality he was from, that you learned of him, it was a reality where you killed Brandon. You left your friends. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, so now...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, as close as you and this Nalfian were at first, you two are very different now. But you can still see he has a lot of respect and admiration for everything you've done.
Alright, so... This is not about... us. It's about them. So tonight, I know there's only so far we can be apart. But even if it hurts me, even if it takes something from me, I need you to stretch as far as you can. Stay with them. Because I don't think I need to be seen with either of them tonight. Regardless of the situation. So I just need you unseen, watching, and always nearby. I know the limitations of what I can do, but we're gonna push that today. I'm gonna do my best to stick near Yorick, most likely, and get through this night. Because the possibility of speaking to her is... I mean, it's given. I'm ready for that. I just need you to take care of them. Can you do that?
I can. I only have one question, though. How likely do you think a fight is to break out?
If we play this smart, it shouldn't. Putting hundreds of lives in danger. But then again, if we crush the rock, we bring that man there, I don't know what he intends to do to either of them. Sounds like a fucking bloodbath to me. I don't know the answer here.
Well, listen. If I know me, and I know you, then smart's the way we're gonna play this.
And he smiles and says,
But, that being said, there's something we could try. When I was removed from my time, I was able to read a lot. I traversed much of the land and much of the Underdark looking for answers. And I found something. An old technique of Echo Knights, and I believe it was something used by the Bansheen, but us together, I think we could do something similar. It would
What
take
is it?
something out of you, but it would make my presence more permanent for a time being.
Alright. Whatever it takes.
All right.
As long as one of us can walk out of that place, that's all that matters.
Okay. And you have my word that I'll keep those two safe. And if it's any consolation, our mother, she died a painful death in the end. So we just have to outlast her.
And he kind of like sticks his hand out to do the forearm shake thing.
Okay.
But he does pull him a little closer. Please. Watched. Be a very smart girl. But there are people who probably talk her into things she doesn't realize. I trust Eurydice to know better. I'm just worried. Let's get through this without incident.
Of course. And with that, Nalfi and the two of you grip forearms, and as he said, this does make you weaker, but provided that nothing bad happens at the ball, it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
So
All right, cool.
Nalfian, with that, the two of you grip, and trusting yourself, you channel some of your magic into yourself, into your echo, into Old Man Nalfian. And you can see nothing on you changes, but like this magic sort of filling him in, where once he was see-through and ethereal. The color is filled in, the transparency is no more. As Nalfian, your hit points are cut in half.
Ooh. Okay.
So you currently had 128, but now you are at 64. Okay.
And this is permanent, or is this just for like tonight?
This is for the next 8 hours until you eventually recall it and take the hit points back. Old Man Nalf isn't going to take the money and run. You know, he's on your side. He's a good guy, okay? But eventually he is fully materialized in front of you, wearing the armor, which is one of the things that's been very interesting, is even though when he originally died in Highland Pass, he was wearing the armor that you had been wearing before becoming Nalfian Forester, but now, as he's changed with you, the armor on him has changed as well, where now he wears the armor of House Forester, same as you, just older, just a little more dilapidated, as if the armor has made it all the way to that point in his life. But he is fully corporeal in front of you. No longer an echo, just an older version of you. At a significant cost to your own health, but
This is just until I recall him, essentially.
Until you recall him, or until 8 hours has expired.
Fast.
And
Okay, cool.
if he dies, like if Echo drops to 0, those hit points, you can regain those hit points, but you
Right.
still do lose them. So it's pretty much the same thing that the Bansheen do, where they split in half hit points to each.
I see.
But it's effectively not just an Echo in combat, it is literally a second version of you in
Right.
a combat scenario. Just you handicap yourself by having half health.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Alrighty. So with that,
Before we do the whole party thing,
yes.
okay. What Yuri wants to do is she's like tried on dresses and stuff like that. She will have picked out one basically how I described it in the like chat before. So that like just very pretty white and gold with like the gold kind of like fiery imagery and stuff. Something she can run in. Thank fuck.
A very fancy jumper, you know, like very
Just like a really nice dress, but like light enough that you can run in and like cuts off before it like starts hitting the ground, I guess. But she'll take the teleportation thing to Nalf's room and see if he lets her in.
Yeah, he'll dismiss his echo. Oh no, he won't. Fuck.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay.
You hear
Joel just let her in.
the ding of like somebody in your limbo chamber, and Eurydice, as you enter, as Nalf permits it, you see two Nalfians. You see Old Man Nalfian fully alive and corporeal, standing next to Nalfian, same height, same build, same everything, just older in every way, just standing there. Kind of waves at you.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, that's fucking weird, man. You can't do that.
Oh, sorry. Should I go downstairs, or do you want to tell everyone this all at the same time?
You just stand over there for now.
Can I at least sit? It's been a while since I've been corporeal.
You can sit.
Thank you. He goes and he sits at a desk, starts drinking some wine. Ooh, this is good.
Oh my god, what have I done?
There's now 3 Nalfians as Tanir flies
Jesus
over
Christ.
to Old Man Nal.
Oh no,
It's like,
we
hey,
don't need that.
you look pretty good. Well, pleasure's all yours, isn't it?
Oh my god. Delphian turns away from this blasphemy and looks at Eurydice.
Yuri's like, she's like, she looks like she's dismissing it for now. It's like, okay, I'll let you explain this to the whole group rather than having to explain it to me and then re-explain it.
Appreciate it.
I thought what do you think? And she shows him like the dress. I know we're not gonna be around each other a lot at this party.
No.
It seems safer that way. So I thought I would come and show you ahead of time. Because I think it looks really nice. I just kind of borrowed it from Lila.
You can see, before you came into the room, he looked a little tense, but he does smile seeing you. I think you look beautiful. And you're right, I'm gonna probably just stick with Yorick most of the night, if possible. If he'll have me. I mean, we do make a wonderful dance partner, so he might have something on you.
Oh, yes, no, don't worry. I definitely noticed at the campfire you were doing all these wonderful lifts, and I was thinking maybe I'm going to be replaced.
He just laughs. Listen, I'll save you a dance when this is all over. How about that?
Okay. I'll take that, I guess.
And he's gonna walk over and give her a hug. And while he's hugging her, he's just gonna say, I don't want this to be about me. This is not what this is. I just want you to be safe, and I just want you to watch over Twig. That's what he's here for. So, about the mission, about what we're doing, what's in front of us. Alright?
Okay.
Alright.
I promised Twig I'll stay with her. She's,
Good.
I think, a little nervous. I promised I would never leave her side. I'm gonna stay with her. It'll be fine. But this isn't. I know this isn't about you, but I still wanted to check if you're okay. Well, I mean, the answer's probably no, but I know this is a lot.
Yeah, I'm alright. I know what I need to be focused on. I mean, poor Yorick's got himself in a bit of a pickle himself. I don't know what the hell's going on here. But Malice being here does throw me off a bit. But I'm alright. I'll be okay. I promise.
Okay. Just remember, there's all of us. We're all here. It'll be okay. It will be okay. Whatever she tries to throw, if she does, it'll be fine.
And like I said, I really believe we're the least of her problems right now.
Yeah.
But you never know. It's better to be safe than sorry. I wanna figure this thing out and make sure no one else gets hurt or sucked into deals that they don't mean to be in any way we can. But thank you. I appreciate it.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go and make sure that. Well, I'm gonna go and help Lila with Twig and dresses and all of that.
Yours seems very practical and beautiful, I will say.
Well, I'm lucky in that I don't have to run as much or move, so I could get away with focusing a little more on the looking good side, I suppose. You'll look great too. whatever you end up getting made for you.
Oh, I'm sure of it. And he kind of gives you a he gives you a smile. All right, go help them out.
There it is.
Yep. I'm still me. I'll see you later, and I'll explain him. But don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Uh-huh. You see this, like, there's a little bit of doubt in her eyes. Like, she's trying to convince both of them that everything's gonna be fine. With, like, what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
She just nods. Okay. I love you. Okay. This is going to be fine.
Yeah, I love you too. It'll be fine. His smile says it's not gonna be fine, but he smiles anyway.
She's gonna head out.
Okay. So with that, Eurydice heads
Ryan!
out.
What?
I see
Dating
you.
when you're older is more complicated than that, all right? Especially when the world's ending, all right?
All right.
All right.
So,
Okay. So with that, Nalfian, any other conversations you'd like to have with yourself and your dragon self before you before you
God,
leave?
no, that's that. We're done with that.
Okay.
No.
Tanir
no,
will
done
fly
with-
back over to you and he'll be like, you know that guy? He's kind of like both of us. Very strange.
You know, I'm so happy that I have you
Oh,
most of the time.
yeah. I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad I can make your life better.
Nalfian looks between him and him.
Yeah, at that point, old man Alf will kind of stand and stretch. All right. Are we going now?
Yep.
You can see
No. Nalfian head down.
as he gets ready to leave, he does kind of trip over his own feet a little bit. He's like, oh, not used to that yet. I know it looks like I'm walking like normal, but I'm really just kind of gliding everywhere. And not used to being so heavy. Oh. I'll be fine.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah. And with that, all of you see coming down the from the stairs in the second area as all of you gather downstairs. There is an Alfian, for one, a singular one with Tanir wrapped around his shoulder. And then there is a second Nalfian that descends down the stairs. An older Nalfian that all of you would recognize as his, looking very similar to his echo, but not Lila and Twig, Eurydice and Twig, you recognize this Nalfian as the one, like the physical version that arrived in Highland Pass that saved the two of you. Hopefully you remember that as Nalfian was kind of paralyzed in that moment, and it was old man Nalf and his masterful knowledge of the echoes is what saved the two of you. So with that, you see them walking down, and Nalfian, how do you want to go about this?
Yeah, I mean, he's just gonna be honest. He's gonna, once everybody comes downstairs, looking beautiful in their attires, he's just gonna say, all right, so just to get the elephant out of the room, just as a safety precaution, I'm gonna have myself here, putting his hand on Nalfian's shoulder, just kind of cling to the shadows, make himself as much as an unknown presence as possible, and just keep an eye on Twig and Eurydice here. Lila, I assume you're gonna be with them as well, I'm not sure. I just think it'd be best if I make myself not around you all as much as possible. I mean, York, if you wouldn't mind, I love a second dance.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't think that's a good idea.
Wow, I thought I was a good dancer, but that's all right.
I thought
No,
you
you're
were a good
wonderful
dancer too.
Look, I'm just saying, if we decide that I'm trying to keep this charade, dancing with you is really not going to do much for my image.
Right. Then it looks like I'll be on my own tonight. This is
Also
just a
feels like a
precaution.
bad idea, right? Surely none of us should be alone.
I'll be alright. That's all. I just wanted to address the problem here.
Well, I'll kind of be in the circle with the merchants. My name, let alone, but my mom's gonna be there. So I'll be an attention grab as well tonight, probably to some degree. But if nothing, we want to stick together, so at least there's some sort of pairing. I
Alright.
think that might be all right, since we're going to be the two that might have the most attention.
Sounds about right. That works for me.
Okay.
So, do you have a way to contact your mother? who took the
Alfred,
Vincent?
is she just going straight there, or is she coming home first?
Oh, well, it really just depends. She said she should be arriving back in Hearthcrest before the ball, but, oh, you know how she can be, always trying to make a new deal wherever she goes. So it just depends. If no business is to be had, she should be here, perhaps in the next couple of hours. If not, she'll be arriving just when the ball begins.
Okay. Maybe I'll just send her a message then, just to vibe check what she's doing, and then maybe ask her about the Sananios family and see how much she knows.
Of course. Sounds like a wonderful idea to me.
That last half she directed at the party, but I really am glad he responded. That's amazing. Thank you, Alfred.
Of course. You're very welcome.
And then maybe as he steps away, she will message her mom and say, I guess I'll count. Hey, I'm going to the ball. When will you be here? And what's up with the Sananios family? They're kinda crappy. That's what I'm sending. And she knows
Okay.
it's me. I don't have to say, this is Lila.
Oh no,
She knows.
she very much recognizes your voice, and she does respond. Your mother is alive and is not within some type of
That's good
worldly
news.
plane where she can't communicate with you.
Very good news.
And she says, oh man, what does she say? So you asked, when is she going to be here, and what's up with the Sananios family?
Yeah. And that Lila thinks they're crappy, but...
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, yeah. Well, wait till you hear what your mom has to say about that.
Oh, good, good.
She responds and says, I am so happy to hear you're home, and I should be there within the hour. I don't have enough words to express my disdain, and the message cuts off there.
Good news, guys. She also hates the Sananios family, and she'll be here in an hour.
Well, that works out.
Yeah. So maybe we could convince her on how to destroy the Sananios family, politically. instead of instead of us crushing the rock if we don't want to do that,
Well,
or both.
we also, again, York hasn't struck this deal. We don't need this thing coming after him. But let's get your mother here, and we'll go from.
And Geldovan, who's just been sitting here listening, there is still the question of Thor. Did we want to reach out to him?
Mouth looks at the party.
It feels like a good idea, right?
I mean, he's super strong, and that's what he does. And God knows if something goes super wrong tonight, it'd be really nice to have somebody already wanting to help.
I think we should take any help that we can get on killing members of the 13, so yeah.
That way, also, if this business with Malice doesn't work out, we don't have to worry about something coming after Yorick like this. York, what do you think?
I trust your guys' judgment.
I mean, in a way, it takes out one of the 113 member we don't have to worry about regardless of what happens.
I mean, I suppose it doesn't hurt to reach out for help. The worst he could do is say no.
Mm-hmm. Geldovan, would you like me to cast Sending through you, or do you have that capability?
Well, that's... Sadly, I don't have those capabilities anymore. My magic was taken after I, broke away from the Great Deceiver. But yes, if you would be willing to use that spell on my behalf, I would greatly appreciate it.
Of course. She will take her hands and cast Sending.
Okay.
Unless she's about to take her hands. Any last words?
I mean, it's a plan. I'm screaming that
Now
this
she's
is a
holding
terrible
the
fucking
thumb.
idea.
I mean, yeah, but like that's the thing. Like that is knowledge that
know.
we don't know.
I know they
and
don't
it's
know.
Yeah, Thor is just some leader of the Western Salamander who kills
Okay.
giants to us, so...
Okay, but and like also, this is the opportunity for Thor to like, you know, do something. He's like all for the glory, right? Like this is a great glory clout grab moment for him.
Well, they also are confirmed completely against the Dark One. Like, they're not gonna be, like, swayed. Like, that's
Yeah.
an Odin thing.
Yeah, exactly. So like, the
So,
enemy of
and-
our enemy.
Yeah.
I don't think we
Which
have
they're
anybody
not even our
knowing, like,
enemies.
this is a bad idea.
Exactly. Yeah.
Quick, message Bianca. Ask her how she feels about the whole thing.
I mean,
like we
would
couldn't
Eurydice,
even
would there
know.
be a reason to even think
No,
of that?
no, they don't know. They don't know.
Again, I feel like we need a safety plan for the whole Yorick situation. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't
It's
know
just-
that. We just don't know that they're.
Yeah, they don't need
kind
to
of
know
crap.
who we know is the other thing, like...
yeah, nah.
Right.
Just be like,
Yeah,
hey,
you
yo,
guys-
Thor,
you
what
guys-
up? You want to kill a giant?
You guys haven't talked to them since Highland Pass, which is really funny.
So long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
whatever.
don't know what's happening. We don't know that they know each other.
Well, you got updated by Keothi. So
Yeah,
that's-
we did.
That's good
I
enough.
don't think Keothi said anything
Oh,
about
wait.
that.
No, but
imagine.
Keothi also super left before the Odins got real fucking sus.
Correct.
You're right.
She
Did we
did.
update
Would
Keothi?
she even
Nope.
know is the thing.
We need to
Yo,
loop her
like,
in.
there's gonna be-
Wait, okay, but we would know that Cecily is totally, like, you know,
Would we though?
quote unquote part of that. Well, I'm sure, like, because
Oh yeah, Keothi would have told you. Yeah, Keothi would have told you from
So
her
we-
perspective. Cecily is the daughter of Odin.
You're
That was
right.
dangerous. We could be like, oh yeah, we know your sister.
Oh no! Shit!
That's
You
funny.
guys are
All
making
right.
this so much worse.
Well, I am now fingers interlocked. We took all that time.
Yep.
We are very grasped with our hands, and she's
Yep.
casting sending.
Okie dokie. So with that, you cast Sending, and Geldovan uses the spell through you. She speaks aloud and says, "Oh my God. Oh God. Geldovan, from 10 years ago, I know felling giants for glory is your prerogative. I know the location of one. Tatiana Tower in Hearthcrest. That's 24 words, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm gonna have to tell my mom and Alfred. And Odinsen's gonna stay. Man,
You get
he
a
came home and brought a
response.
circus.
And Lila, you hear the response as well. A voice akin to that of rumbling thunder and bolts of lightning. I'll be there. And that's it.
Well, a date and time would have been very nice, but whatever.
Nah, Muddy's gonna show up at the fucking ball. There's gonna be two Forsaken and fucking Thor at this ball tonight.
Such a great time. I'm so ready for the really good, chill, casual time we can have at this ball.
This is
was
going to
like-
be insane.
So what happened to karaoke time?
Nah, fam. This went from super cute to super fucking death in an
Yeah.
instant.
Oh no. Well, this better be worth it.
Okay, but how cool would it be if Thor just fucks up a fucking Forsaken for us? Like,
I mean, that's what I'm hoping.
like we have done
hopefully
nothing to him. He does not. Like our
We just
parties.
We need to have no reason to bring up Cecily before he does, so we can
Yeah, like
learn.
Yeah, we don't even have a reason to bring her up. You know,
Yeah.
like there's a fucking Goliath here who's a dick, and he's working with
Yeah.
the Dark One.
Yeah.
Have fun. Tear his head off.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Alrighty.
have tea and scones while we wait for Mama.
Yep. Couple of hours pass.
Wait,
Eventually,
was she gonna be a couple of hours or just an hour?
just an
Just
hour.
Oh, no.
Just the one. She said she was about an hour away. Sorry, I just misspoke.
Oh.
Yeah, when Lila messaged her mom, she said that she was about an hour away. So with that, an hour passes, and the door opens from the rainy interior, and you see a beautiful woman with like this very, very light platinum blonde hair, dress of all white with the small crest of House Tatiana upon her shoulder. The symbol there, with that being the only splash of color, and then a silver circlet across her forehead. None of what she is wearing is explicitly gaudy or over the top. It is just expensive enough that you know it's expensive, but it doesn't look like it's overly expensive. Like, this is a woman who knows how to dress when she's trying to not show that she is wealthy and she has sway and power, but not flaunting anything. A very powerful look in her eyes, a businesswoman for sure. As entering into the room is Jasmine Tatiana, Lila's mother.
Yo, mama built.
Mama.
Beautiful.
Wow, calm down.
And
So recent.
as the door opens and she walks in, the door still open behind her, there is a crash of lightning in front of the Tatiana Tower.
No! I'm ready!
And settling from the dust, you see a man standing about 6'7", massive hammer at his side, wearing battle-ready armor, long red hair and a long red beard, smiling. You see Thor Odinson as well.
Oh my fuck. Ow.
At the mention of killing giants, whatever Thor was doing, he dropped immediately to come here. So with that, Lila's mother Jasmine and Thor Odinson at your doorstep. And the ball in several hours. With that, these two powerhouses of Iverion and of the Western Salamander ready to talk this out and figure out what you're going to do. Sadly, on that note, though, that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session.
Stop.
Woo!
No, let's keep going.
Listen, But hey, you know, I think that this is a great endpoint because, needless to say, I think that it is only appropriate that all of you have a week to think about what you want to do here.
Okay, listen, I have a plan. Here's the thing. We convince Thor to team up with us, and then we go to the ball, and then Brian, you crush the thing to bring my dude there, and then we're like, hey, yo, Thor, there he goes. Get him, Thor, get him. And then we let go.
Oh my god.
Like a dog? Yeah. We said fucking Goliath, and my dude bammed in 30 seconds later. Like, come on. And then we all just watch it happen. Like, whoa, can you believe this? Not me. And then hopefully Thor will kill Yo Dude. Yo Dude will kill freaking Malice and Eileen before that, and then it's a win.
Oh my god.
This is a mess.
Yeah. Playing the bonfires here.
Yep.
We're so fucked.
Oh no.
We just brought in the nuclear option. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, you really
did.
And that's okay. You
like,
know what?
We have no reason to suspect anything else. Like, it's called Gelderman's fault for bringing him up.
I mean,
We didn't
Okay,
even...
wait a minute.
we also don't have any reason currently for Thor to dislike us. So, like...
Right. We just know who he is.
I just think that certain people should talk to him. Yeah.
And like, is he kind of a monster in all reality? Yeah, but he is effective.
Yeah.
And whenever he needs to put a kind face, he was very nice to Cecily. When he was told by Thor.
He'll probably quit or sign one of the
He'll sign one of the Kingdoms and Castles cards.
Oh,
That's
so
how
funny.
Twig knows him. Because he's
I
on a
don't even have that deck though. This is the unfortunate thing.
That's true.
That's really funny.
Rip.
But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
because like, what was he doing before he was summoned? Hey,
That's a good
Probably
point.
seeking out the Salamander Coast crew to kill them.
Yeah,
You
with
think
their
so?
sons.
Why would he be doing that? It's not
I
like
don't know.
they killed his sons.
That'd be kooky if he cared about that, you know.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be so kooky if he cared about his only two sons being murdered by a couple of by some
Yeah, like, we don't know anything about that, so why would that even come up? That's not our fault, we didn't do that.
No, you
You're
didn't do
right.
that.
It's not.
Oh, it's going to be so fun. Next week. I'm very excited to see what happens. I do have to change the title when I export it to YouTube, though, because the ball time didn't happen. But that means that next session's title can be Ball Time.
All time.
Lightning Balls is what I'll call it.
Whoa.
Oh, God. Anyway, So with that, that's where we're going to go ahead and end today's session. Thank you all so much for playing. I very much appreciate you all for being so cool and playing this game, making it a fun time. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow. If you're watching on YouTube, do not forget to like and subscribe. And if you had a favorite moment from the session, or if you think you know what's going to happen next week, leave that down in the comments. That'd be awesome. We appreciate it. It helps us out.
It would. I'd really like some thoughts.
Thanks, Rachel, for the great session. You're a great session. Anyway, so with that, that's where we ended. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.